Thanks, Adrian, and welcome along to Goodison Park. We come here off the back of a win over Red Star Belgrade. Rob, at the start of the campaign, many were talking about how Arsene Wenger would rotate his squad off the back of the European fixture on a Thursday into a Premier League game, but it's been a case of so far so good this season.
Absolutely. Arsene Wenger was pretty clear, wasn't he, at the start of the campaign, that he would pretty much play two squads. He's got a very big, very deep squad. He wanted to give the fringe players that chance to impress in Europe and in the League Cup, and he's done that so far. We've got 9 points out of 9 in Europe, and when we come back to Premier League action after that Europa League games, we've done pretty well. The 0-0 draw against Chelsea and another win, and let's hope they can make it a third today. Yeah, let's hope so.
As regards the team today, top line, I guess, is the fact that we've got Alexis, Lacazette and Ozil from the off for the first time.
Absolutely. It's surprising, isn't it, that it's come to this point in the season we've not seen those three together, but I'm really excited about seeing them. You know, Everton, let's face it, they're not having a good season at all, and you'd imagine they would be worried about the pace and the creativity and just the attacking endeavour in that trio, so I think it's a really positive sign for Arsenal.
What about Aaron Ramsey coming back as well? Certainly a player I think most supporters felt we missed it last time out.
Absolutely, you'd always miss Aaron Ramsey's energy, the way he gets forward. I think this formation, we all agree really that this formation really suits Aaron. You'd hope that if he's back, he'll be back to top form, and he can hopefully dominate that midfield against Everton today.
On Everton, Ronald Koeman's under pressure, isn't he, at the minute?
It doesn't look good for them at the moment, doesn't it? They're really struggling, but you've just got to think about the game that we played here last season. We were 1-0 up, we really were cruising, it felt like, at half-time. I was here for that game with you, and you just couldn't see us losing. And we know what happened in the second half. We lost. Ashley Williams scored with 4 minutes to go. It very much reminded me of that game against Watford, so we just can't allow any repeat of that today.
Yeah, let's hope that we head back down south with a full 3 points. We'll be on air, of course, for kick-off and full match commentary shortly.
Thank you very much, boys. Here is your starting 11 then, and it looks strong. It really does. Koscielny, Mertesacker and Monreal at the back. Ramsey and Xhaka reunited in the engine room. Bellerin and Kolasinac win-backs again, and we got the magic three, the golden triangle, we hope. Perry, Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez and Alexander Lacazette up top. Strong-looking bench as well. Alex Iwobi, Theo Walcott, Olivier Giroud, the hero from the other night, and Jack Wilshere. We'll get to Jack in a moment, but let's start with that triangle I'm talking about up top. What kind of carnage could they cause Everton today? Because you look at the talent and you think, well, it's a no-brainer that they're going to be brilliant together. Will they be?
Well, that triumvirate is good as any triumvirate in any team in the Premier League, because you've got Lacazette, who's got pace. He looks into being behind. He can hold the ball up. You've got Alexis Sanchez, with his guy. He likes to drop into little pockets and take people on, play 1-2s. You've got Mesut Ozil, who's got a brilliant passing range. So if you actually said you want three playing together, they've all got the different qualities. Yeah. So in theory, it should work. But what you want, especially with Mesut Ozil, you want him to work hard to get on the ball. He's not going to close people down. He's not going to track back. He can get back goal side and maybe help you out. But if those three are doing their job and being a constant threat going the other way, then it makes it easier for your midfield players.
Yeah, it certainly does. Everton are starting with a back three today, as they have done for a lot of matches so far this season. Could we see, or should we see, Perry, Alexis Sanchez joining in as a second centre-forward alongside Lacazette, with Ozil tucked in behind? Is that how that particular dynamic could succeed today?
Well, you'd like to think they could be fluid, because one of the downfalls of playing your three centre-halves is, especially at Everton at home with Baines and Kenny in the wing-back positions, they'll be pushing on. So therefore, then your centre-half should be exposed. And what you want is Lacazette or Alexis Sanchez getting down the sides, whether it's Michael Keane or Jagielka, and especially if it's Ashley Williams, because I've watched him play 2 or 3 times this year, and the saying in football is that his legs have gone, and he looks like he's running on quicksand at the minute.
Yes, we want that man there, don't we? Alexis Sanchez to peel on him where possible. We want Lacazette to make runs in behind him. One player we know will make a lot of runs in this particular game is Aaron Ramsey. We did miss him last weekend. I thought the dynamic between Elneny and Xhaka was okay, especially in the first half, but then they lacked a bit of drive and invention that second period. Sat back a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, I think what happens when you're playing against two midfield players like that, they're always in, you can see them, they're always in front of you, you know, and with Elneny and Xhaka, neither of them are prepared to run beyond the centre forwards, and neither of them really like what you call playmakers, you know. Xhaka can be, but he's just dropped a little bit. So with Aaron Ramsey, as long as he picks his right times, and it's important that Xhaka stays in front of his three centre-halves, then Aaron Ramsey can make those lung-busting runs into the... Because that is his strength. He's getting up to support Lacazette and Alexis Sanchez.
Yes, and they've got to look after the ball properly as well, haven't they? We've seen at Stoke, we've seen at Liverpool, losing the ball cheaply in that midfield area has proved really, really costly. Now, possibly the biggest plus point to emerge from that loss to Watford last week was the man of the match display of Arsenal's captain, Pierre Mertesacker. Here's a pre-match chat with the German.
I mean, after the game is always a little bit more emotions than now. Looking back a little bit more, you can sense that it was a proper fight, you know, and those teams who stuck more to that fight and to that willingness to succeed at the end, those teams won. But after the game is a little bit different. So looking back to it, we had chances, you know, to win there, and obviously we didn't do it. And you get punished for mistakes and for being unclever at times in the Premier League. To realise that quickly, we know that, but during games, you know, you get surprised, but we shouldn't. I think we created enough chances. That's a major part for me. First of all, you need to create those chances. So we're always looking to play. That's our style, you know. Even when we sometimes go a little bit deeper, especially away from home, you know, you have to defend at times. Even on the break, we had enough chances. We were a sloppy bit in passing. I think we need to address that. But in creating chances, we have done quite well away from home. So we stick to that, and we add another more willingness in front of the goal, more brutality in front of the goal. Everton is always a tough place to go for ourselves, and I think we have learned lesson from last season where we lost the first game. I think after a magnificent unbeaten run, I think that's something that needs to stuck in our head. It's going to be a tough away game, and I expect different reaction, you know, to things that can happen, especially away from home, when it gets tough, when it gets tight, even when we concede. There are things we need to address better, in a better way than we have done it at Watford.
Speaks a lot of sense, doesn't he, the big man? Now, he was interesting, wasn't he, after that Watford game? He fronted up, he spoke to the press, and he said that Watford wanted it more than we did in the second half. Was he right? Do you think he is the one player that can say that in that dressing room with gravitas, isn't he?
Well, he's got the stature, and he's no nonsense. He had a brilliant quote before the FA Cup final. I think he played 37 minutes, the host, and someone went, a journalist said to him, "You could be struggling, you know, are you worried about the playing against Chelsea, the champions?" And he just said, "It's what I do." He just said, "Don't be silly, I've been doing this for 15 years." And he was man of the match in the FA Cup final, give a brilliant display. He took a bit of stick from Troy Deeney, saying that he come on you rough. Troy Deeney did put himself around, but I didn't see him rough Per Mertesacker up. No. Do you know what I mean? He didn't duck out of any challenges, and he's probably... And the right channel out and the left channel. He will stay central, and he'll make sure his two centre-halves stay beside him.
Now, we were speaking earlier on off air, and you were describing this as Per Mertesacker's farewell tour, and you think that could be helping or aiding building?
Yeah, he's got a winning mentality. You can coach players as much as you like. You can go on the technical side. They've all got ability, but it's what's in their top inch, what's in their brain, and he can then tell players, younger players, what you need to do and have to make it to the top, and you've got to have mental strength.
Yeah, and let's hope he's got a good eye for a player too, a good eye for a young player moving on from next season onwards. Now, there aren't too many gaffers that Arsene Wenger hasn't beaten on their own patch, but Ronald Koeman is unbeaten in 6 home games against against the Gunners. Ahead of another head-to-head, the boss stopped by to talk all things Everton and the away form.
And the away form's been fantastic in Europe. Can you put your finger on why it's not quite clicking away in the Premier League?
Well, I must say, first of all, historically we have been always a very strong away team, and it's true that recently it has not clicked. I would say we didn't score enough goals until now, and we have been a bit unlucky as well, because if you looked at the expected goals in every single game that we lost, we were on top, you know, and overall I think as well at Watford we were really a victim of unfortunate decisions as well.
And it's fine margins. If Mesut scores, it's 2-0, it's game over, the narrative change.
Yes, that's what we want to add, you know, to our game, is be more clinical, take our chances, and maybe a bit more direct to finish games off.
Sunday's Everton. Everton means Wayne Rooney. It's 15 years since that first Premier League goal he scored against us. What do you remember about that day?
I still remember, because it's a game that he scored against David Seaman, and he came on, and you could see straight away that this guy has special talent, you know. And if we speak about him 15 years later, it means that he lasted 15 years at the top level. That's absolutely exceptional. You need a special talent for that. And so overall, I think that sums it up well.
He scored more goals against us than any other player in the Premier League, 11 goals. He's had quite a story.
Yes. And as well, he played for long years at Man United, you know, with an exceptional team going forward. And of course, Man United, especially at home, won always between 14 and 16 games, and was a force, an offensive force, and that's why, of course, he scored so many goals.
Arsene Wenger full of praise for Wayne Rooney. It only seems like yesterday that he burst onto the scene, but it is 15 years, and that is not a bad achievement to play at the highest level for that length of time, is it?
I say some people say that Wayne Rooney didn't fulfil his potential. Yeah. I just don't get that. No? England's all-time greatest goal scorer, Manchester United's all-time goal scorer, and consistently playing at the top level for a top club, Manchester United, as you said, for 15 years. And I know he's lost his legs a little bit. That's because of the intensity. I think he's had one probably bad injury. Other than that, he's played all the time and been consistently their best player.
Yes, I would swap with Wayne Rooney, that is for sure. Right before Perry and I discuss the Toffees in more detail, let's find out a little more about today's opponents. What's the lowdown, Nicole?
Well, after a top 7 finish last season and spending over £100 million in the summer transfer window, it's not been the start of the season Everton anticipated. Of course, Wayne Rooney has returned and has scored a total of 4 goals so far in all competitions, but he is not the threat that Lukaku was. And another defeat on Thursday night in the Europa League means Everton may not be feeling so confident today.
Cheers, Nicole. Yeah, let's hope they are really low on confidence. When you assess their performance and that result against Lyon on Thursday night, a night where Arsenal triumphed in Belgrade, does it help or hinder Arsenal ahead of this one?
I'll tell you after about 5 minutes. No, but they're going to be low on confidence. You can't just have an injection and that confidence comes seeping back. And the way you get your confidence back is they're not going to be great on the ball, but Ronald Koeman was saying to them, we have to go and close Arsenal down. We have to be very, very good off the ball, and you can get your confidence from that. So if I was Arsenal, I was in Bowley, I'd be saying to our midfield players, do not overplay in your own third.
Yes.
Because if you give them that impetus to come and close you down, the crowd gets up, and then players get confidence. So first 10, 15 minutes, maybe bypass them.
Yeah, on the radio into Emirates Stadium today, I heard a Ronald Koeman interview, and he was talking about aggression. He mentioned that word 3 or 4 times in this one short segment. Arsenal have got to be prepared for a battle here, haven't they?
Exactly. That's what you know. You're away from home. You know they're not confident. The crowd will be behind their team. You know, if they show the home to Everton putting in the effort and the application, then the crowd will react to that. And it's I don't think it's a surprise that Kenny's playing, the young lad's playing at right back. They've got Calvert-Lewin playing through the middle up front. A couple of young players.
Yeah.
And if they show that energy and passion, then that can then rub off onto the other players.
We know that they've struggled for goals in the absence of Romelu Lukaku. Calvert-Lewin is charged with the task, isn't he, today, up top, alongside, we think, Wayne Rooney. But is the danger man that fella in behind, the Icelandic chap they signed from Swansea, Gylfi Sigurdsson? He's a good player, isn't he?
He is a good player, but at the moment, Everton's a big player. He was Swansea's best player by a long way. And there's some players that it's the big fish, little pond sort of syndrome. At Swansea, he's gone to Everton. The expectations are a lot higher. Unfortunately for him, the team's not playing very well. So he's been very sort of in and out. But he's one player, whether it's... You'd probably think it would be Granit Xhaka. When Sigurdsson gets on the ball, someone, if it's Xhaka or Rand, whoever's closest to him, has to get close to him to stop him playing these little 1-2s round the corner, you know, and getting himself in a flow.
Yes, we don't want to give too many free kicks away, do we, when Gylfi Sigurdsson is on the pitch. Right, you know the drill on a matchday show. At this time of the show, we always come up with 3 things you need to know. Got a really good record at Goodison Park, as have West Ham and Villa. Lots of red cards in this fixtures, it could be feisty. And Arsene Wenger has an outstanding record against the Toffees. He's best than against any other club. And I guess that does bode well, doesn't it? But our last visit was a real toughie, wasn't it? I remember it. Rob Kelly and Dan Roebuck were talking about it. Easy street up until half-time, and then we just lowered the intensity. A little bit like that game against Watford last time out, and Everton are good enough to punish you.
Again, you just give them a little lift. I can remember at 1-1, I think Mesut Ozil missed a brilliant chance to put us. Again, it's being ruthless in both boxes. And we've beaten, out of all the teams in English football we've ever played, we've beaten Everton 94 times. Yeah. So sometimes there's that little bit of fate that comes in as well, where you like playing against another team. Yeah, let's hope it's another good day at the office. We asked you for your happy Goodison Park memories early on. Nicole, you've got the answers.
I do indeed. We've had loads of great tweets. Perry, I think you're going to like this first one. So Barcelona says his favourite memory at Goodison Park is Perry Groves. Very important goal in the League Cup. Cal Arsenal says loved Welbeck's goal, great passing move. Roscoe 7777 says Van Persie in the 2008-9 season, volley on the angle, absolute class. And Jamuel says Iwobi's first Premier League start. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag EFCVAFC, and you can send your emails into dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
Nice one, Nicole. Thank you to everybody that got involved. Remember that Iwobi goal. Cracking effort, wasn't it, on the counter-attack? Maybe a little bit unlucky to lose his place, but when you're up against Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, I guess that is understandable. Right, it is prediction time, Perry. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I think both teams... a little bit scratchy at the minute.
Yep.
Not great defensively bad. I'm going to say 2-1 just because Nicole wanted 2-1, so I just nicked it off her, really. Just to put her under pressure.
Well then, Nicole, you can't have 2-1 because Perry's stolen it shamelessly. What's your prediction?
Well, do you know what, Perry? I don't even want 2-1 anymore, because now I've seen the lineup, I'm going to go with 3-1. 3-1. I'm going to go even bolder. I'm going to be a little bit crazy here and throw out a 3-0 Arsenal victory. I think this is a happy hunting ground, and without that triangle up top of Lacazette, Ozil, Alexis Sanchez in behind, I fancy us. I really do. Fingers crossed it will happen. Right, the players are just about ready to go on Merseyside, so it's time to transport you to the northwest of England, to one of English football's oldest and most traditional stadiums, with live radio commentary of Everton versus Arsenal. Here are your men on the mics, Rob Kelly and Dan Roebuck. Enjoy the game.
So have Arsenal got what it takes this afternoon at Goodison Park? We'll find out as the Gunners take on a troubled Everton side who find themselves just outside of the relegation zone. Arsene Wenger celebrates his 68th birthday today, hoping to head back down south with 3 points, something his side have achieved only once in the last 4 visits. Arsenal have defeated more times than any other club has beaten another in English football history. And after losses at Liverpool, Stoke and Watford away from home already this campaign, the Gunners could do with stretching that record even further. Rob, we've had a good record generally in the Premier League against Everton, but just recently our numbers have fallen off a little.
Absolutely, but I really think this is the opportunity to set that right today. Everton are having a nightmare of a season so far. Ronald Koeman made a big splash in the transfer market this summer, and it's not really worked out for them so far. They're really having trouble gelling. Confidence is obviously low, and we've got to come into this and try and get our first away win of the season today, because they really have got a great opportunity to do so.
3 changes from an Arsenal point of view. I'll run through the complete side. I know it's been discussed already. Checking goal, back three of Monreal, Mertesacker and Koscielny, Xhaka and Ramsey in midfield, Bayer in right, Kolasinac on the left-hand side, Alexis and Ozil in behind Lacazette. The players that come in are Ozil, Alexis and Ramsey. Rob, not a bad trio to bring back in.
Absolutely. I mean, we're pretty much in November now, aren't we, practically? And this is the first time we're going to see those 3 together in a Premier League game, and it's an exciting prospect because you want to see Ozil playing with Lacazette. Lacazette's been making these excellent runs off the ball. He needs somebody like Mesut Ozil to be able to slip it through to him, and obviously any side with the likes of Alexis, Ozil and Lacazette inside is going to pose a big attacking threat. So exciting times, I think, today.
That's the Arsenal lineup. We're just about to see the 2 teams emerge from the tunnel down below us. It is an old-fashioned ground, Goodison Park. The tunnel is very tight, very reminiscent of Highbury, really. And as the Z-Cars theme belts out around Goodison, Everton and Arsenal emerge. Everton, incidentally, making 2 changes from their last Premier League game. That was away at Brighton, you might recall, when Wayne Rooney scored a late penalty to rescue a point for Ronald Koeman. Not just rescuing a point, maybe Rob rescuing Ronald Koeman from the sack. I know that they were beaten at home in Lyon in midweek, but domestically as well as on the European stage they have been awful, and Koeman is under real pressure.
He's under real pressure, but what you can say about Bill Kenwright and Everton in general in the past is they have given their managers time. I think they've given him a lot of money to spend this summer. I'd be surprised if they got rid of him so early, to be honest with you. I think you saw the job that Koeman did at Southampton, an excellent job there. He's very good in Holland as well. I'd expect him to get a bit more time, and I'd expect him to turn it around. I just hope that comeback doesn't start today.
2 changes, as we mentioned. Holgate and Schneiderlin, the players have gone out. John Joe Kenny, who was part of England's World Cup under-20 triumph in the summer, comes in, as does Ashley Williams. They match up Arsenal to a certain extent. They've gone with a back 3. Ashley Williams, Phil Jagielka and Michael Keane ahead of Jordan Pickford. Idrissa Gueye is the holding midfielder. And then Baines on the left-hand side, John Joe Kenny right-hand side. Have a midfield 4 or wing-backs if you prefer. And then we've got Vlasic, Sigurdsson with Calvert-Lewin and Rooney. It'll be interesting to see how ambitious Everton are here, and whether they'll play Calvert-Lewin and Rooney as a front 2, or whether we'll see Rooney just in behind Calvert-Lewin. What's been levelled, Rob, at Everton this season is that they've got no pace. They haven't really got a striker after Lukaku went to Manchester United, and they've got too many players in a similar vein in the middle of the park.
They have. They've got a lot of number 10s, haven't they? The likes of Claessens, Sigurdsson, Rooney as well. Rooney, might have played more as a number 9 at one point in his career. He's certainly a number 10 now. Really, he hasn't really got the pace. I think they really went big on trying to get Olivier Giroud to the club. My understanding is that he was pretty close to making that move, and then decided he wanted to stay at Arsenal, committed his future to Arsenal. And that's great news for us. It's been less good news for Everton, because it means they haven't really got that sort of physical target man they obviously wanted to have all those players, those sort of runners playing off. So I think that's really hampered them this season. Obviously they've had some defensive issues as well, with the likes of Ashley Williams has lost a bit of form. Arsenal should be able to get at them today. You think at the back they're lacking in confidence. You'd like to think Arsenal can get at them. They will pose a threat going forward. They have got some good players. Sigurdsson scored 2 goals, I think, in his 9 games against Arsenal, a few assists as well. So they will pose a threat. I just feel that we've got so many quality players that we should be able to get the better of them today.
Just about to get this match underway. Our referee is Craig Pawson. Ronald Koeman, incidentally, has never lost a home game against Arsene Wenger in any competition, winning 4 and drawing 2. 5 different clubs he's took on Arsene Wenger with. When it comes to this Everton side, though, it has been slow progress for the Dutch manager who took charge, of course, last campaign, and he's really hoping to propel Everton maybe into the Champions League. Certainly at the start of the season, given the amount of money that they spent, everyone was believing that maybe this is the time that Everton can get to the Champions League proper after just missing out with a qualifying defeat a few years ago under David Moyes. But it's not worked out that way, and they are under real pressure at the moment. Get set for a start then. It is Everton versus Arsenal in the Premier League, and send us your emails as well, studio@arsenal.co.uk, and we'll be happy to pass your thoughts on. Interesting to speak to one or two fans ahead of kick-off outside Goodison Park, and many were believing that this is a tough test and it will be difficult for Arsenal to get anything on it. One or two believing that Arsenal should be good enough to win here, given Everton's troubles, but we know that the atmosphere is always good. And we know that Everton generally like to play a decent brand of football. But it is a vintage that we've not really come across before, because obviously Wayne Rooney is back these days. And although he has scored more goals against Arsenal than any other Premier League player, he's not the player he once was by any stretch of the imagination.
He's not, but Arsene Wenger spoke about it with Arsenal player in midweek, and spoke about the fact, you know, he's played 15 years in the top of the game in the Premier League, and that shows you what an exceptional player is. He might not be the player that he once was, but he has got that enduring quality that means that if the Arsenal defence switch off, he has got the quality to punish them.
Free kick for Everton early on, and it's curled inside the penalty area by Sigurdsson. It should be cleared away by the Gunners and is, and now it's back towards Jagielka. Jagielka will work it to the left-hand side. Baines looking to get a low ball in, and it's cleared away by Koscielny. And then it's Xhaka towards Lacazette, who will knock it down here. Let's see what the Gunners can do with Mesut Ozil sliding challenge from Gay, and the referee continues as Ozil goes down. And Arsenal on the defensive. Calvert-Lewin looking to try and win that header up against Per Mertesacker, but thankfully Petr Cech is there. As we mentioned, it is the boss's birthday. Arsene Wenger's competition record on his birthday. He's played 6, won 3, drawn 1, lost 2. The 2 away games that he's played on his birthday at Reading back in 2006 and Anderlecht in 2014. He's won both. You can skew the stats either way. Let's hope it's a third win away from home on his birthday, and he can celebrate it properly a little bit later on. Ball is at the feet of Koscielny, who works it to the right-hand side and then plays it forward towards Ozil. Ozil's touch is good, knocks it back towards Koscielny, just inside the Arsenal half. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka has to turn and try and look to play it towards Nacho Monreal on this left-hand side. Monreal will take it down, fires it towards Alexis Sanchez. Alexis will turn away from Keane and look to come forward towards Ozil. Ozil through towards Ramsey. Great opportunity, just wide of the target. What a chance for Arsenal, and Pickford must have got the fingertips on that, because the ball is out for a corner. But Rob, what an opportunity here for the Gunners. Huge opportunity, lovely play from Arsenal going forward. That's Mesut Ozil's qualities, and it slipped a beautiful ball through to Aaron Ramsey, and he really felt he should have scored there. I know Pickford obviously must have made a very good save, but Ramsey shouldn't have given him that opportunity, should have buried it. Big chance, in comes the corner, it's towards Alexis, it's cleared away by Calvert-Lewin. Everton will look to try and clear their lines properly, but they haven't done so just yet. This is Idrissa Gueye, who will turn on that left-hand side and knock it forward, but there's nobody there in Everton blue, and that's comfortable for Monreal to pick up. Aaron Ramsey with a couple of goals against Everton in his Arsenal career, and back in the starting lineup after missing out because of, I think, fatigue more than anything else. I think he had a slight knock, didn't he? Which kept him out against Watford, but of course he played in those World Cup qualifiers. Wales were hugely disappointed not to make it to the playoffs, and Aaron Ramsey, more so than anyone, was the player trying to drive them on, without Gareth Bale, of course, in that defeat against Ireland. Here is Kolasinac, another player who misses out. Obviously he won't be going to the World Cup finals with Bosnia, and neither with Alexis, who's just been fouled there by Michael Keane. He might be with England, you never know. This is Alexis, chip forward towards Lacazette once again. Lacazette will take it down, edge of the penalty area, looks to fire it infield. Alexis goes himself, it's still Alexis, gets to the byline, can he pull it back here? And eventually Pickford comes and shoves Alexis over. Alexis looks at the referee and says, wasn't that a penalty? No one else really shouted for it, but he sort of almost ran into the Chilean. He did, really, yeah. And it's one of those, it's a horrible cliche, but it's one of those ones that you think if he'd done it anywhere else than the pitch, he might have blown up for a foul, but the referee didn't even hesitate, did he? There's no chance he's going to blow up for that one. So a corner, really good start for Arsenal here. And it's Alexis Sanchez that will take the corner kick on the left-hand side. In the sunshine, Goodison floated towards the back post. It evades everybody. Aaron Ramsey's going to try and keep it in play. And he's done well, Aaron Ramsey. Good running from the Welshman. Edge of the penalty area. Kolasinac will try and get the shot off. It's a block on the edge of the box. Kolasinac recovers. And this is Hector Bellerin who will work it to the right-hand side once again. Everton look very nervous in the opening exchanges. In comes the cross inside the area. Pickford is there. And makes it look simple under no real pressure. Everton can look to try and calm. Rob, we were talking on the train up this morning about we sort of enjoy coming to Everton. The atmosphere is good, the fans are very knowledgeable, there is a nervous air, they're not as loud as they usually are. Usually on kick-off it reverberates around these great old stands for a good 4 or 5 minutes before they calm down. Not so today.
Absolutely, it's just one of those natural things, isn't it? When your team's not playing well, the fans just get very, very edgy about it. They obviously are probably expecting the worst today. You know, they've seen them put in some really woeful performances so far this season. They're not really expecting much, I wouldn't imagine, from it today. So, and sort of that sort of nerves in the stands will translate to the players as well. Hopefully Arsenal can take advantage of it.
Interesting to see John Joe Kenny for Everton, much touted player who can play right side defence, can play midfield. He's a right wing back today, which is an interesting position for him as Rooney looks to play it forward over on that left hand side, but he can't quite find Nikola Vlasic. And the ball goes out of play. John Joe Kenny was part of England's successful under-20 World Cup campaign. Read every single minute in the under-20 World Cup campaign, and then went on to be capped for the under-21s as well. He's a talented performer. He's been in and around the fringes of this Everton side for the last couple of years. He's spent loan spells with Wigan and at Oxford, and now he's looking to try and establish himself as a first-team player. Petacek has the ball at the moment, just throws it out to the right-hand side. Koscielny scampers outside of the box so he can touch it and plays it long towards Mesut Ozil. That's a really good take from Ozil. Ozil jinks away from Vlasic, comes inside, looks to try and find a teammate. Bellerin is there, Ozil again. Now it's with Aaron Ramsey. Some really good interchange here with Arsenal. Into players. Alexis knocks it forward. It's through towards Lacazette. Lacazette, tight angle, looks to get the shot in. Pickford makes the save. There was barely any of the goal to aim at there. The ball has gone out for another corner. Good play. Really encouraging play from Arsenal. They've looked excellent. You wanted to see that little triumvirate, I should say, of Ozil, Alexis and Lacazette combining well, and they've done that so far really impressively. And it's just that pace and confidence in the attack that's causing issues for Everton. They're getting into that pocket of space just in front of the Everton backline, and that's causing real issues for the home side. Another corner on this near side. Alexis comes across to take it. Let's see what the Chilean can do. Plenty of Arsenal players back. Every single Everton player inside the penalty area at the moment. Ronald Koeman's team taking no chances. Curled to the near post, flicked on by Koscielny, then away by Rooney, I think it was, and then it's flicked back to the left-hand side where Alexis is stationed. Alexis looks for the run of Ozil. Ozil pulls it back here inside the penalty area towards Koscielny, but Ozil is offside. That was an odd one. We are bereft of a monitor to see replays, unfortunately. Well, I can't see one anyway. It's a very cramped old press box. Everton have been talking for years about moving, sometimes to the Wirral, sometimes to the centre of Liverpool city centre where the docks are. All sorts of new sites been mooted. They've never managed to get it done. Liverpool, of course, have decided to stay put just across Stanley Park. A little bit of blue sky away to our right, but generally it's been a cloudy day on Merseyside as Kolasinac looks to clear Pickford's long clearance. This is Xhaka. Kolasinac again, the ball dribbles out of play. That's going to be a throw-in to Everton. Just sense that Arsenal have got to take the chances here. A lot been made about the Ozil miss against Watford. Obviously, Alex Iwobi had a good opportunity as well, spectacularly saved by Gomez. It's not as if we're not creating chances, Rob, is it? It's not, no. I mean, that Ramsey chance just there was fairly similar to the Iwobi chance, really, wasn't it? And you sort of just want them to be that bit more clinical in front of goal. I looked at some stats in midweek. I saw something online that says that I think we're fourth in the table for our sort of for how clinical we are with the chances that we're taking. Man City, as you'd imagine, are well out in front, number one. But you know, if you think about some of the chances we missed this season, you've just got to be a bit more clinical. Things could have been different. Ramsey Looking for Ozil, right-hand side, takes the touch. Now it's with Hector Bellerin through towards Ramsey inside the penalty area. It's towards Lacazette, who turns. Great save, Pickford. Top draw. And then eventually it's Xhaka that looks to fire forward. It spins away for another corner, does it? No, somehow Pickford's kept it in play and then thumps it down the line. That is stunning from Pickford, because I thought Lacazette had scored.
Absolutely, that is a brilliant save from the Everton goalkeeper. And Lacazette scored 4 goals at home. We just thought that looked absolutely odds on to be his first away goal for Arsenal, and somehow the Everton goalkeeper saved it. But Arsenal well on top. You just really think they need a goal here, because they're so on top of this game.
Gunners have had 2 very, very good chances. Maybe another coming here now as Ramsey can't get to the ball forward from Monreal. Alex Lacazette, who scored 2 against West Brom, of course, netted against Bournemouth and scored on the opening weekend of the season against Leicester in that 4-3 win. 4 goals so far. It's been a healthy return for the Frenchman, former Lyon player. Lyon, of course, were here in midweek, beating Everton in a controversial and rather fractious encounter between Everton and the Liga side. I'm sure that Alex would have been supporting his old team, who he scored 100 league goals for, but he was very close to getting his 5th, and although it was a very, very good stop from so close in after spinning his man, really felt that he should have scored. But let's take nothing away from Pickford with a stunning stop. And according to the referee and officials, he got a fingertip to Ramsey's effort as well. Oh, that's clever from Ozil. Looks for Lacazette. Lacazette can't take it. Really good football from Mesut Ozil to let it go. Lacazette should have done better.
He should have done. I mean, one thing that's sort of really obvious in this first 10 minutes is look how much Mesut Ozil seems to be on his game today. He's absolutely pulling the strings for Arsenal. He's causing big problems. And Ramsey very involved. Obviously, he had the chance. He also would have had an assist if Lacazette had scored that one, because it was him that pulled it back to him. Arsenal's big players are putting in a big performance so far, but they need the goal to reflect their dominance.
Yeah, Ozil was put on his backside in the opening minute or so, but he's not shying away from everything. He's very much involved. This is Kenny on the right-hand side for Everton. It's towards the edge of the penalty area, and Sigurdsson is cleared away. Nodded back by Keane. Monreal will take it on his chest. Left-footed short ball for Kolasinac. Infield looking for Mertesacker. Mertesacker forward for Xhaka. Xhaka challenged by Gay. Now it's with Rooney. Edge of the area. Wayne Rooney with a curler! Oh, that's Wayne Rooney! And it's similar to all those years ago when he burst onto the scene for Everton against Arsenal, and Wayne Rooney has managed to earn his 4th of the Premier League campaign, and Arsenal somehow inside the opening dozen minutes are behind here. He just had too much space to pick his spot, and Petr Cech could do nothing about it. And the man who scored more goals against Arsenal than any other player has continued in similar vein, and he's punished the Gunners once again. It was a good finish, but he was afforded too much space, and we can track it back to whether Granit Xhaka was fouled by Idrissa Gueye or not.
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think he was fouled by Idrissa Gueye. I think he just took way too long on the ball, and from where we were sitting, you could just see that coming, really, the way that he just dallied on the ball, really. They took the ball off him quite cleanly, and then Rooney has the ball, but again he has an extra second or two that he shouldn't have. Someone should be coming out to close him down, and it's a great finish, but Arsenal will wonder how on earth they're 1-0 down in this game. I mean, it's criminal defending, really. You were talking about the crowd being quiet. Now they're not going to be quiet. Now they've got Everton have got the crowd behind them, and it's a much bigger challenge for Arsenal than this needed to be, because they could be 1 or 2-0 up by now.
12th Premier League goal against the Gunners for Wayne Rooney. He burst onto the scene back in October 2002. It was same end of the ground, but different side of the penalty area, and probably not as good a shot as that one that was netted some 15 years ago. But that is a blow, but not a killer blow to the Gunners, who started so positively, so strongly, creating chances, but as Rob has been pointing out, unfortunately chances weren't taken. Ronald Koeman is just trying to get some instructions across to Wayne Rooney at the moment. Kolasinac will take the throw here on the halfway line, looking for a little bit of movement. And eventually he's had to go all the way back towards Nacho Monreal. Arsenal just can't let their heads drop here, because they've been by far the better side. I know we've only had a dozen minutes, well, 13 and a half now. Oh, Cech has dallied, and he's been caught in possession, but Nacho Monreal will help him out. Wayne Rooney looking to try and pounce. It was Calvert-Lewin that got the block in. And do you know, that's something that we've seen Calvert-Lewin do in previous games this season. He gets right in the face of opposition goalkeepers. Kenny looking to come forward. It's cleared away. This is Xhaka. Now it's with Ozil. Eventually it's gone towards Alexis Sanchez. Now it's with Mesut Ozil. Options here perhaps for the German. Alex Lacazette over on this left-hand side. Lacazette will play back in field to Alexis Sanchez. He'll dart away from Vlasic and look to try and feed it in field. It's with Granit Xhaka, helps it onto the right-hand side. Now it's with Lacazette, edge of the penalty area. Turns away from Williams. Still Xhaka. Oh, he's lost possession again, Granit Xhaka. Calvert-Lewin lays it off. Vlasic is on the move. He's got Koscielny to beat. He's also got support here in the form of Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson chips it over towards Calvert-Lewin. The flag is up and the youngster is offside. But once again, just a slack ball from Granit Xhaka, allowing Everton to come forward.
Granit Xhaka's really got to pick his game up. He's made a lot of mistakes this season, I think, in that midfield. He's getting caught in possession, and it's happened again in this game. He's got to waken up, really. He's got to move the ball quicker than he's currently doing.
Alexis Sanchez coming forward. Open game of football. Alexis will cook 1-2 with Lacazette and still going forward. Runs into Ashley Williams, and that's a free kick for Arsenal. And it's going to be a yellow card for Williams, who's made no attempt to play that ball. The Welsh captain moves away rather quickly and sheepishly, and then looks up to see the yellow card brandished by Craig Pawson. And Williams has got to watch himself for the remainder of the game. It is a fixture that has seen red cards all too often, unfortunately, over the last few years. Koscielny sent off in the reverse fixture last campaign, and Phil Jagielka sent off very late on when Everton won here last season. Here's a chance, maybe. Alexis has lined this one up. Who else fancies it, I wonder? Xhaka has moved away. Mesut Ozil inevitably is having a look at this one as well. Who's it going to be? Chilean, the German, or the Swiss? Alexis looks favourite. Wrong angle to a certain extent, but he might catch Pickford out. He's just taken a step to his right. It is Alexis. It's a good hit. It's into the arms of Pickford, who spills it. And then the follow-up is saved once again. It was Aaron Ramsey who got there ahead of everybody else, but the angle was tight. Lacazette hopes to win it back here. This is Xhaka with a header. Lacazette again. That looked like handball, but it's not been given. Oh, that's poor from Everton. Ramsey has it shot early on, and Pickford again fumbles, but he gets away with this as no one is near him. And he would suggest that he just patted that down anyway. Ashley Williams is having a word with the referee at the moment, maybe just trying to have an explanation as to why he got the yellow card a few moments ago. It is an action-packed opening 16 and a half minutes. That was always going to be difficult for Ramsey, but pleased that he was alive to the chance nonetheless. Yeah,
he's been very bright, Aaron Ramsey, so far today, and I think him and Mesut Ozil look more likely than anyone else to get Arsenal back into this game. They've been very bright. It's just the midfield, I think, that's a bit of a concern at the moment.
Ball is with Kolasinac on this left-hand side. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Alexis takes over, central position, 35 yards away from goal, tries to flick it through the legs of Sigurdsson, who comes away with possession, looks for the ball to the left-hand side and Calvert-Lewin, but that's poor from Sigurdsson, and the ball is just going to flash out of play for an Arsenal throw deep inside their own half. Petacek will pick it up, and he will play it over to the left-hand side where Monreal is stationed, and now it's with Xhaka for Ozil towards Lacazette. He could have first drop on Williams here. It's Alex Lacazette inside the penalty area. Does take the shot on, hits the side netting, and it takes a deflection. It's out for another corner.
Arsenal have had so many shots on goal in the first 17 minutes here. It's unbelievable, and Pickford's made some excellent stops. But Arsenal just finding so much time and space to get these efforts away, and you've got to feel that if they keep on like this, then the goal will come, the equaliser will come.
So corner, right-hand side, just got to stay patient, keep playing your football, and it comes in, swinger cleared away easy by Leighton Baines. Hector Bellerin is chasing this one back. Nacho Monreal calling for it on the halfway line. Arsenal will start again, and the Gunners have the ball with Granit Xhaka. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin short for Mesut Ozil over on that far side. Ozil being challenged by Baines. Now it's with Per Mertesacker, back towards Mesut Ozil on the halfway line. Lacazette dropping a little deep, looking for possession. Here is Lacazette, back towards Ozil. Gay looking to win the ball from the German, but Arsenal still have it. Good pressing from Everton. Arsenal, though, a cool in possession as Ozil comes forward again. Now it's with Ramsey. Ramsey runs into trouble. The ball ricochets back towards Keane, and then Keane will knock it long, but that's just going to sail out of play. That's a little hurried from the man signed from Burnley in the summer. Here is Mertesacker. 19 minutes gone here. Send us your thoughts to studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want to join in the debate and discussion here. Here is Mesut Ozil. And Ozil short for Koscielny on that right-hand side. Now it's with Mertesacker once again. Really good to see that. See the likes of Ozil and Alexis on the ball. I think they've both contributed, but unfortunately we haven't had the breakthrough yet.
Absolutely, I think they've both been very good so far. And like I say, I mean, the scoreline's a bit of a shocker really for Arsenal considering their dominance, but the signs are still positive from an Arsenal perspective, I think. I think, you know, they equalised before half-time. I think this game can definitely be there for the taking.
Certainly back Arsenal to score, that's for certain. Whether it'll be enough to win the game, I don't know. This is Kolasinac, Alexis. Kolasinac again showing good strength here inside the penalty area, cleared away by Jagielka, and then Calvert-Lewin's been put on the deck. Craig Paulson says no. The challenge from Koscielny, Arsenal have it. This is Mertesacker. Mertesacker forward towards Ozil. Good drop of the shoulder in between two players. He was the meat in the sandwich there. The referee says play on, and then Lacazette fouls Gay, and that's going to be a free kick to Everton, 10 yards outside their own penalty area. And Ashley Williams going to leave it to Gay. So Everton lead by a goal to nil. Arsenal have dominated. The only sniff that Everton have had is when Gay caught Xhaka in possession and Wayne Rooney took advantage from the edge of the penalty area with a dipping effort that Petr Cech couldn't keep out after he was afforded far too much space. Jordan Pickford has made two very good stops, three very good stops you could argue, to keep Arsenal out. And the story of the game does not reflect the scoreline at the moment. Still plenty of time here. Arsenal supporters away on the far side of the ground to where we are at Goodison. Made their way up from the capital today, and it's no mean feat as per usual. There's train issues. Nothing into Liverpool Lime Street, unfortunately, today. Last time we were at Liverpool across Stanley Park, myself and Rob couldn't get out of Euston. The trains have been the issue so far this campaign. Arsenal's issue on their travels has been a bit more serious. This is Rooney looking to spread the play here. Clever to try and find Sigurdsson. Back towards Rooney, who's onside. Gets to the byline, right-hand side, two inside the penalty area. Far post is Baines with a header, but thankfully Bellerin is there. It ricochets between the two fullbacks, and it's out for Ozil. Oh, Ozil's given the ball away. Straight to Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson to the left-hand side, and Baines. Rooney wants it. Calvert-Lewin wants it. Mertesacker's there with a very good challenge, and Everton have a throw.
It's a bit loose defensively from Arsenal, isn't it, at the moment? You know, you think about how slick they have looked at going forward. They have looked loose at the back as well. You know, had the goal, obviously. Cech slipped when he dallied on the ball far too much. That was a good opportunity as well. And Arsenal need to tighten up at the back, really, because they can't keep affording players like Gylfi Sigurdsson and Wayne Rooney chances.
Sigurdsson wins the ball on the far side and wins a throw. Ends up in the first row of the seats on the far side, but Everton will have possession when we restart. Email from Stephen Miller says, a very good day. Hi Dan, hope you and Rob are doing well. We can only hope this game goes well for us. Just wondered what you both felt about Troy Deeney's comments after the Watford game. Was it a negative as many people took it, or was it just giving a piece of advice to help AFC? Is this a game for Jack Wilshere to come on and make one of those surging runs of his? One thing I'd say about Deeney's comments is that people have levelled out of Arsenal for a long time, and I'm not quite sure it's true. I mean, it might be true on the odd game, but that's probably true for most teams, isn't it?
Well, I was a bit split about Deeney's comments, really, because everybody goes on about how boring it is when football thing, and then he says something and everybody leaps on it, and it is interesting to hear players talking about that, really. And you know, I think one thing you'd say about it is if this Arsenal side did lack character, we wouldn't score as many late goals as we do. We score absolutely tons of late goals, and that shows that. I think the amount of comebacks we do, they might point to different issues that we've got in the team, maybe defensive issues we've got in the team, but I don't think you can accuse of lacking character.
This is Vlasic coming forward for Everton, left-hand side up against Xhaka, still going, chips it towards Calvert-Lewin. Mertesacker heads away, another important interception from Per Mertesacker, and then Ramsey slips as Lacazette looks to get away, and Gay will pick it up for Everton. It's all a bit loose, as Rob was pointing out. It's a good phrase, good word to describe the action at the moment. This is Koscielny. Vlasic goes down. Bellerin helps out through the legs of Sigurdsson. That's good. And then he slips into Gay. Gay tries to win it back. That's a free kick, Everton. Didn't really see that.
So yes, there's not a huge amount of shape to this game, is there, at the moment? It's all, you know, really, really exciting game to watch so far. But you know, who knows? I mean, it could be 1-1, it could be 2-0 at any point. You know, it just feels like there's more goals that not only in this game, in this first half. I fully expect it to be another goal at least.
Free kick to Everton. It's some distance out, and looks like Leighton Baines is standing over this one. Calvert-Lewin is jogged forward. Impressive run from Vlasic just a few moments ago. Signed from Hajduk Split. He played against Everton, I think, in the Europa League, in the qualifiers in which Everton came through, obviously. And then Everton signed him up because they were impressed by him. Young Croatian international. In comes the free kick. It's cleared away by Monreal. Gay will let it bounce here. Kenny will take a touch, and then it's back by Jagielka towards Pickford. Pickford left-footed. A long punt from Pickford, huge. Calvert-Lewin up against Monreal. Calvert-Lewin uses his elbow a little bit there, and we've seen that this season against Manchester City. He's an old-fashioned striker in lots of ways. Had his arm across Monreal. He's won his side a throw, which Kenny will take. And this is Rooney back towards Keane. Keane left-footed to the centre circle where Jagielka is stationed. Williams is the middle of the centre-back trio, and then Jagielka's ball is pretty poor as he tries to get Kenny in down the right-hand side. It's just going to bounce out of play. Interesting that Stephen was talking about the introduction of Jack Wilshere. We've had a lot of emails over the course of the last few games talking about Jack Wilshere. He is on the bench today and obviously played his part in that terrific goal from Olivier Giroud in midweek.
He did. Lovely bit of interplay between them. I think Jack's been very, very good. I wouldn't necessarily have him in midfield, to be honest with you. I'd probably have him in the number 10 role. I think that suits better, actually, than trying to put the tackles in the centre of midfield.
Flick on from Calvert-Lewin, but there's no one there far post unless he was trying to aim that goalwards. It was well wide regardless from Rooney's curling free kick. I think what I will say about Wilshere, he's getting closer to getting a chance in the Premier League game from the off, isn't he? Because he's doing pretty much everything right when he's called upon in Europa League and League Cup fixtures.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I was there in Belarus for the Bate Borisov game, and I thought he was absolutely sensational. I thought that's the best I'd seen him play for absolutely donkey's years, to be honest with you. I thought he was brilliant that game for 60 minutes. I thought in Belgrade, if I'm being honest, I didn't think he was as good as he was in Belarus. But when he had that moment of quality, that turn to get away, to create the chance.
Let's see what Calvert-Lewin can do here after a mazy run from Vlasic. Cleared away by the Gunners. And eventually it's Hector Bellerin under pressure. Punts it towards Mesut Ozil. Ozil steadies himself before playing it towards Koscielny via Xhaka.
He looks a player, doesn't he, this guy, Vlasic?
Yeah, looks okay.
Causing problems.
Bounced away from a couple of challenges. This is Alexis. Now it's with Monreal, left-hand side, gets to the byline, wins yet another corner for the Gunners. I think we might see Wilshere at some stage today, depending on what the scoreline is, obviously.
I think so. He was due to come on, wasn't he, against Watford? And then I think Laurent Koscielny had a bit of cramp, had to come off. That meant that Rob Holding came on.
Left wing corner will be taken right-footed here. Fifth of the game for the Gunners, and it's knocked in and then cleared away by Pickford to the edge of the area. Xhaka's header. It's just going to bounce out. Ramsey couldn't go for that. He's coming back from an offside position. It's a goal kick. Studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want your thoughts aired on this Sunday afternoon. Overcast in Liverpool. A little bit of rain around, but thankfully it's stayed away by and large. Pitch looked in good nick when we were pitch side. Of course, they played on it on Thursday. Everton, who started the season well with those Europa League qualifiers, but unfortunately for them, the wheels have fallen off a little bit. Let's not forget that they actually won the first 4 games of the campaign. Were unbeaten first 6, which includes a trip to Manchester City. Since then, just 2 successes, one in the Cup, one in the league. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Everton penalised. But I think there's so much more expectation around Everton, and there's a little bit of expectation anyway.
Well, I think this season was was the season that I think a lot of Everton fans thought. They'd made the signings. I think they thought we can really challenge for a top four, and I think that's why perhaps their current problems have been so exacerbated. Their expectations are higher than they might have been in previous years.
Monreal to the left-hand side and Kolasinac. Everton lead by a goal to nil. We're approaching the half hour. This is Ramsey towards Xhaka, back to goal. Gay's done a good job on Xhaka so far, closing him down. This is Kolasinac. Now it's with Alexis, turns away from Vlasic and from Keane, still going forward. Short for Ozil. Alexis takes it on. Still Alexis. Right-hand side, Bellerin. Low ball in. Pickford is there. 2-2 Matt. Ozil's furious with Bellerin not to pick him out because he was unmarked. Neat football from Ozil and Alexis once again.
Exactly, those two look really dangerous, as does Aaron Ramsey, and it's just that final touch that Arsenal are missing at the moment. I think Arsene Wenger, if it remains like this at half-time, will just probably, he won't be happy with the way the goal was conceded, but I think he'd probably be pretty happy with the way the half's gone, because I think we've looked very good going forward. He just want us to tighten up a bit at the back and just keep creating chances, and I'm convinced that there are goals in this for us.
Mertesacker back towards Petr Cech. That's a volleyed clearance from Petr Cech. He gets plenty of height on it. Gay's underneath it. Now it's with Mertesacker once again. Ramsey flicks it forward. The offside flag is up here, but the referee is saying play on as Ramsey breaks forward. Centre right position. He's got Lacazette to aim at. Looks to pull it back for Ozil. It's behind the German. Sigurdsson is there. Now it's with Vlasic to come forward, looking to run at the Arsenal defence. Kolasinac gets goal side. It's back with John Joe Kenny. Kenny looks to knock it forward for Calvert-Lewin. Arms go up from both Koscielny and Mertesacker, but no offside given. And then Lacazette, was he caught by Williams? Alexis is saying, come on, that should be another one. This has already been booked once here. Alexis raced over to the referee, and Ashley Williams, he knows that that wasn't the best of challenges. It's a free kick, and Ashley Williams, his whole demeanour is not good for me.
It's not.
If I was an Everton fan, I think he's almost asking for it. He looks like he doesn't want to be here.
No, I mean, he's in poor form, isn't he? I mean, you saw his push on the Lyon goalkeeper that caused that brawl in midweek. His head's not right, doesn't seem at the moment, and I think he needs to watch himself. Arsenal really should be trying to get Ashley Williams as much as humanly possible, not only because he's in poor form, but also because he's on the yellow card.
I think he's a liability at the minute. I was very surprised to see him in the starting line if he didn't play the game against Brighton. He did play midweek, but an awful lot of players were rested for that midweek game. Alexis is going to take the free kick, 35 yards out, curled towards Mertesacker. It's cleared away, and then Kolasinac on the volley. It's cleared once again, and then Bellerin will fly towards goal, but Pickford watches that all the way. Makes it look fairly easy. Not quite sure if it was going in or going over the bar, but either way, the keeper manages to save. Steve LaRue says Gunners don't have a game plan again. No striking, no idea what to do. Tripping over their own players, allowing Everton to run all over them. I'm not quite sure it's like that, Steve. Ozil ineffectual. Everton 3, Gunners 0, says Steve. He's not happy with the current scoreline. I'm not
pretty
quite
harsh
sure.
to say Ozil's ineffectual, to be honest with you.
I'm going to say I think Ozil's been one of the better players today.
Yeah, I don't
think Arsenal have done that much wrong.
I don't think they've been bad. I think defensively, well, I think there's been a few that haven't been great at the back, but I think going forward, I think we've been excellent, to be honest.
But you are welcome to have your view, whatever it may be. studio@arsenal.co.uk. I'm happy to wear it.
As long as you agree with us.
Usually don't. They don't agree with me anyway. This is Kolasinac on the halfway line. Yes, what was it that Brian Clough this is Alexis who gets a free kick on the halfway line. What was it Brian Clough said? Well, welcome to have the discussion, and then we'll agree that I'm right. This is Alexis. Something like that. Now it's with Ramsey. He's contributed, but did have that big opportunity that Pickford got his fingertips to very early on in the game. Here he is again, the Welshman. It's towards Monreal. Monreal has to scamper to this near side to keep it in play. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Alexis looks to scoop it forward towards Ramsey. Cleared away by Keane. Mertesacker under pressure from Calvert-Lewin will steer it back towards Petr Cech. And now it's with Granit Xhaka once again. Xhaka looking for Koscielny. Koscielny back towards Xhaka on the halfway line. We've got 12 minutes remaining as the ball is not crossfield towards Kolasinac, who will take it down. Now it's with Nacho Monreal. Eventually it's gone towards Alexis. Tries to stab it forward for Monreal, but Idrissa Gueye is there. This is Alexis again and tries to knock it forward. He was caught after the ball has gone. Good decision, referee, and a yellow card as well to Idrissa Gueye, and that's the right decision all day long.
I think that yellow card's been coming. Gueye's gone in late a few times on the Arsenal players, Xhaka in particular. That's two key players for them on yellow cards, and Arsenal are getting at them. They are pinning them back in their own half. They're just looking for that way through. Like I say, I'm still optimistic. I'm still optimistic if we keep knocking on the door, our chance will come again.
10 yellow cards in his first season in English football, Idrissa Gueye with Aston Villa in the Premier League. He beat that record last season by notching 11 cautions. That's his third of the domestic league season. Maybe he's looking to break his own record. 23 cautions in 2 and a bit seasons. In comes the free kick from Ozil. It's towards Lacazette. It's cleared to the edge of the area. It ricochets around, and then it's cleared away by Sigurdsson, and it's out for a throw-in just in front of the dugouts here where Ronald Koeman is stationed. He's fouling the edge of his technical area. Arsene Wenger we've not seen. He's sat down at the moment, I presume. Here is Granit Xhaka, left-footed back towards Per Mertesacker. Just over 10 minutes remaining of this first half. And from Switzerland's been on saying, hi guys, just wish we had a tough midfielder like Patrick Vieira used to be, would help sort out defensive frailties, I reckon. And from Switzerland, Patrick, of course, now manager of New York City FC. They'll be embarking on their playoff journey shortly in MLS. Here is Montreal. It's with Alexis, left-hand side, through towards Lacazette. Lacazette will turn, edge of the penalty area, left wing at the moment. Is Lacazette, looks to whip it inside the area. It's towards Hector Bellerin. Nice idea, but it's overhit just a little.
Yeah, not a bad idea from Alex Lacazette. He's looked lively again, Lacazette, hasn't he? He just needs that. We had that big opportunity and Pickford saved. He's just looking for that opportunity to pull the trigger.
Pickford gets ready to take. Snatched it from Sunderland in the summer, of course. Big money move, another big money move. It does feel like an evolving Everton team. It's very different to the one that got a little bit stale, I think, under previous management. Roberto Martinez seems to use the same players pretty much year in, year out. Of course, there's been new investment in the club. Bill Kenwright's sold some of his shares, and I think they have ambitions to be a force, obviously, in England, which they once were back in the 80s when they were winners, of course, of the old Division 1, and were denied a chance to play in the European Cup. Had a very, very good side back in the day. Graham Sharp, we saw in the press lounge earlier. Graham, an old-fashioned number 9 in his day. It's through towards Lacazette, Arsenal's current number 9, but Pickford is there once again. Yeah, I don't think he's done too badly. Lacazette had that one turn inside the penalty area and shot that Pickford saved close in.
Yeah, very willing runner. I think he has combined well with Ozil and Alexis. Ashley Williams and Phil Jagielka, they won't be looking forward to having a player of that pace running in behind them all the time, and that's where I think that's where you sort of hope later in the game that legs will tire, minds will tire, and the likes of Lacazette and Ozil will be able to prise them open.
Win today for the Gunners would see Arsenal rise to 5th in the top division. Heather was back in League Cup action in midweek. This is Alexis, chips it inside the area, looks for Ramsey, but Kolasinac was free on the left-hand side, and for once it didn't spot him.
Big chance for Arsenal there, and you don't usually see Alexis Sanchez take the wrong option, but he took probably, there's 2 other options that were better available to him. He tried to pick out Ramsey, but it's too high. If he put it to feet, he was through, and then Kolasinac, as you say, was wide open in space to the left.
Yeah, if Arsenal do manage to come back and win this game by 3-1 or by 2 clear goals, it would put Everton in the relegation zone, incidentally. Well, Xhaka's gone down. Idrissa Gueye on a yellow card, fouls him. And it's going to be a free kick here to Arsenal, which Xhaka will take. Short for Mertesacker. Not quite sure he was expecting it, but he'll help it on nonetheless to Koscielny. Now it's with Mesut Ozil, right-hand side. And Koscielny will swipe it to this near side once again. Can Arsenal get back on terms as half-time approaches? The ball is with Nacho Monreal. Wants a little bit of movement in front of him, maybe. He's short for Alexis, who's got involved an awful lot from deeper positions today. Now it's with Monreal on the left-hand side, up against Wayne Rooney. Alexis loses out. Rooney will pick up the loose ball, and then John Joe Kenny will curl down the line for Calvert-Lewin, but the ball's just going to curl out of play. And that's a throw-in, which Arsenal will take with Kolasinac. This is Xhaka. Alexis forward to the edge of the area. Ozil, Ramsey can't take it on. He said, rather, Ozil can't. It was Ramsey who couldn't take it on. He's ended up on the deck. This is Bellerin. Now it's with Xhaka to the left-hand side and Kolasinac. Kolasinac forward to Ozil. Ozil back towards Kolasinac. Now it's with Lacazette. Kolasinac will go again. Alexis is there inside the penalty area, still going, surrounded by blue shirts. Forced out wide, chips it back to the edge of the area. Bellerin can't make it his. Cleared away by Baines, only as far as Koscielny, who turns to find Mertesacker. Mertesacker looks for Xhaka. Good bit of pressure this from Arsenal. Is there any end product? Kolasinac, clever for Ozil, inside the penalty area, back towards Alexis, up against Gay. Still Alexis has it. Jinks to the angle of the box, still looking to get that shot away. Good blocks, and then Xhaka gets the shot away. He's popped up towards Monreal, who finds the corner. We're all level. Nacho Monreal with a dead-eye finish. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 1. The pressure told, and the Gunners deservedly are back on terms. Really good finish from Nacho Monreal. He's popped up previously, of course, this campaign. Second of the season, the Spaniard Johnny on the spot. Really good finish after Jordan Pickford, who I must admit has made some very good saves, but he's also spilt one or two as well, and this time he was punished. We are all square. It's the Arsenal fans you can hear all of a sudden away on the far side of the pitch that are celebrating here. And, well, that is more like it from the Gunners, and I think we've got our just deserves. Nacho Monreal, who opened the scoring against Brighton, you might recall, and of course scored some important goals last campaign, including against Manchester City in the Cup semi. But I'm pleased for him. That was a really good finish as well.
Really instinctive finish from Nacho. You wouldn't expect Nacho to be... Oh, here we go again.
Here we go again. Alexis looking for Bellerin. Can he get a shot off? He can. It's wide of the target. There were so many options there for Hector Bellerin. He goes for glory himself. It wasn't a necessarily tight angle, but all the options were to his left, Rob.
He should be putting that back across goal. It's actually a really poor ball from Hector Bellerin. He's not really got hold of that one properly at all. But what a big opportunity, and you feel like, you know, Everton are now on the rack again. Is the confidence going to go from the crowd, from the players? Because Arsenal have been the better side for this game. You know, it was ridiculous, really, that we were 1-0 down.
Monreal, second of the season. We are all square here. Everton 1, Arsenal 1. And I think that, you know, we've conveyed the game to suggest that Arsenal we're unlucky to be 1 down. And really deserved to be in front, should have been in front, have had more chances, more clear-cut chances.
Absolutely, yeah. Arsenal have certainly been the better side in terms of opportunities created.
The winner, you're going to call Arsenal, aren't you, really? Oh, there's a mistake at the back, and Hector Bellerin might be in here, but that's good defending from Keane to help win it back. And then Gay and Williams will try and clear themselves, and then Everton get themselves in a bit of a mix, but Sigurdsson does well. Then Rooney gives it away, and the ball is with Ramsey. Where are the options for the Welshman? Tries to find Alexis. He's furious with Ramsey. He just wanted it to his feet, and it was too far in front of him, and it just bounces towards an Everton player who clear, and then Monreal is over the advertising board, and he was shoved by Calvert-Lewin, and Nacho Monreal is not happy. Calvert-Lewin is getting a bit of a reputation. He was involved when Kyle Walker, you might recall, was sent off for Manchester City at the Etihad earlier today, and many believe that Walker was a little unlucky to go, and Calvert-Lewin sort of got him sent off, and he's just had a shove at Monreal. And Rob, you know, you spoke to Nacho enough times. He's not the type of bloke who's going to front up to people like that unless he feels he's been wronged.
No, but you know, it's a sly little move, isn't it? We saw who was it? Arnautovic did it to Debuchy when we played at the Emirates a couple of seasons ago, and Debuchy ended up dislocating his shoulder, and that sort of ended his season. It's a really sly little move from Calvert-Lewin. He knew exactly what he was doing, but he's obviously trying to forge a reputation as a sort of bit physical and stuff, but I don't think there's any need for stuff like that, really. Should be a better player than to have to do that.
Absolutely poor from the young player. Let's see what Arsenal can do on the right-hand side. Ramsey in possession, looks to knock it back here towards Hector Bellerin. Xhaka calling for it. Here is Mertesacker. And now it's with Xhaka to that right-hand side, but it's easily cleared. It's very awkward, the run-off area. We were actually remarking to ourselves when we were walking off, it looks like there's a new bit of tarmac that's been put down there, and it's on an angle. It makes it very difficult to race off the pitch. This is Kolasinac coming forward after he robs Rooney. The Bosnian still has it. Low ball in. Real opportunity here. Might fall for Alexis. Great save from Pickford after being teed up by Ozil. To a certain extent, you wonder why Ozil didn't shoot himself. But when he finds Alexis close in, he tries to lift it over the onrushing Pickford inside the 6-yard box. And Pickford does brilliantly to spread himself and make the save. But it's another good opportunity for Arsenal. Alexis getting the boos here, but he's across to take the corner. And having played in South America, he's not going to be worried about the fans at the Gladys Street end. In comes the corner, punched away by Pickford, cleared to the edge of the area. Gay will take it down, and then it's challenged by Bellerin, but it's easy for Pickford to pick up.
Yeah, going back to that chance, it's good interplay, isn't it? It's really, really big tackle from Nacho Monreal on the touchline. Kolasinac surges off down the left really well. He showed his pace and his power, cuts it back in, and you just want Mesut Ozil to just take the opportunity himself there, really. I mean, he did very well to get the pass into Alexis, but frankly, I thought the better option was for him to go for goal himself.
Vlasic coming forward. Ramsey helps win it back. Good strong play from Aaron Ramsey. One apiece with a minute to go. So Ty's been on talking about that prior to the goal we had 7 attempts, 5 on target. Their 1 attempt and they scored. It says it all, really, doesn't it? You have to ask yourself how we are behind in this match. So Ty goes on to score. Our team selection has been good considering who's available. Hopefully we'll kick on and score. Well, that's happened. So Ty, glad to get your email as per usual. This is Ozil. 30 seconds of the 45 remaining. Might have a minute of added on time, but I don't think we'll have a lot of additional play. This is Monreal. I think the boss is going to be fairly happy. Obviously not 100% happy because we're not winning, but I think the fact that the Gunners have rallied well after going behind, got that leveller before the break, should give us the platform to pick up the 3 points. Here is Xhaka, 25 yards out, takes the shot on, wide of the target, nowhere near, unfortunately for Granit Xhaka. 2 minutes of added on time here at the end of this first period. 1 or 2 Everton supporters in front of us just let the seats flip up and head for the coffee bars downstairs, whereas Jordan Pickford gets ready to take this goal kick. We've got no chance to get out for a coffee, Rob. We are squeezed in.
Yeah, it's very tight here, isn't it?
Tight is the word. Cleared away by Monreal. This is Vlasic, takes it down, but Xhaka is there. And now it's with Petr Cech. And Petr Cech will just inch it out towards Laurent Koscielny. Koscielny under a little bit of pressure here, has to knock it back towards Petr Cech. Cech left-footed to this near side of Monreal. Monreal under pressure from Calvert-Lewin, finds Kolasinac, short for Monreal. Arsenal always confident, playing themselves out of trouble. Close quarters. Xhaka's clearance is a little hurried though. Everton look to win it back, and that's going to be a free kick to Everton. Alexis's high challenge on Michael Keane. Keane must be a foot taller than him, so why it's a high challenge when Alexis puts the boot up around about his knee high, and therefore shin for Keane, I don't know, but anyway. Free kick, so this might be the last act as far as this first half is concerned. Alexis is going to have to move away. He believes that Sigurdsson has moved the ball forward a couple of yards here. Let's see what Sigurdsson could do. Arsenal holding a high line outside the penalty area. Swung in towards the far post, and the header from Calvert-Lewin loops over, and it's out for a goal kick. Everton fans believing it should be a corner, but it's not been given, much to their frustration and disappointment. And instead, Petr Cech will roll it out to the right-hand side, and Arsenal will start again with Laurent Koscielny. Chip forward towards Alex Lacazette. Lacazette up against Jagielka. Does well, does the Frenchman. Looks to find Granit Xhaka. Xhaka towards Alexis. Alexis coming forward. Looks to take the shot on. It ends up in the Gladys Street end. The whistle has gone. 1-1 at half-time. Rob, I think Arsenal deserve to be ahead. Certainly don't deserve to be behind. 1-1, some would say, was about fair.
No, I think Arsenal should be ahead, really. We've had the chances, we've had the dominance, really. We really would have thought we should have had at least 2 goals, if not 3.
Rooney with the opener, his 12th Premier League goal against Arsenal, and Nacho Monreal, his 2nd of the season. That's what we've got so far. Let's hope for more Arsenal goals in the second period. Let's get back to the boys down south for more analysis. Half-time here. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 1.
Great game at Goodison Park at the moment. 1 apiece then at the interval. If you'd like to have your say, please do get in touch with us. And here is Nicole with all the details.
Yep, it has been quite a stressful first half, but really, really entertaining. If you do want to get in touch, and I know you guys will have a lot to say, then get your tweets in now using the hashtag EFCVAFC, and I'll read some of them out a bit later on.
Thank you, Nicole. It's been a cracker of a game, hasn't it, Perry? On the balance of play, Arsenal should surely be not just ahead in this match, but ahead by some distance.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's equal is we've both got a goal. That's it. You look at the corner count, you look at the shots on target, the shots of hold, possession. That's been our best away performance this season in the Premier League. Chelsea was excellent because it was 0-0 and it was good defensive. But going forward, every time we go forward, we look like we're going to score. It's just, we keep saying over and over again, it's that ruthlessness. You have to be ruthless when you're on top because Everton are ready to fold.
Yeah, it does seem that way. They're clearly low on confidence, aren't they, the home side? And Arsenal were never so sharp. Every time they've linked up with the three up top, we talked about them, didn't we, ahead of kick-off. Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil, Alex Lacazette, together for the first time from the start. I mean, have you been as excited as I have? I mean, I think it's brilliant.
The first minute, you could tell that all three, the forwards, were sharp. You could tell that they were mentally ready, that they were physically ready. Ball coming to Ozil a couple of times. You had a great couple of little balls just round the corner first time, like brilliant vision. Sanchez coming off the left-hand side. And Lacazette's hold-up play's been good as well. When he's backing into whether it's Jagielka or Williams and bringing people into the game. Again, the only criticism you could have is that just that either the final decision-making of your finishing or your final decision-making of your cross. That's the only thing that's been missing, and the goal.
And some good saves. I mean, Jordan Pickford, if you're thinking about a man of the match for the entire game so far, he's a contender, and that really tells a story.
Yeah, I don't think, apart from the goal, which wasn't a save from Petr Cech, I don't think Petr Cech's had a save to make. He got himself in a bit of a tangle, didn't he, with Calvert-Lewin, where he hesitated a little bit and he got caught on the ball. But the only way that we won't win this game, it would be because of ourselves. It won't be anything that Everton do. It will be what we do against ourselves. We're a goal away from winning this 3 or 4-1.
Well, let's hope
Next
so,
goal,
Barry.
and then it will be the floodgates are open.
Well, I hope you're right. I really do. Let's check out a chalkboard from Opta now. It shows the amount of shots that Arsenal had in the first 20 minutes of this game. We can't see it ourselves in the studio, unfortunately, at the moment. You can see it at home. I've seen the map. It is full of strikes from here, there and everywhere, isn't it, Perry? Here, we've got it on our screen now. That's just inside the first 20 minutes. I think by the time we got to half-time, the shot count, I believe, was around 14-3 in Arsenal's favour. We're rampant, really, aren't we, going forward?
Yeah, normally the shot count, it would be, 25 yards, 30 yards. But when we were speaking about it, you said 9 of them have been from inside the box.
Yes.
And that's because our link-up play has been excellent. Through the thirds, we're mentioning, obviously, with Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, and Ramsey getting himself into the box. Bellerin's had a good position on the right-hand side where he's hit it near post, should be going across. So every time we go forward, we look very, very dangerous. And we have been, even when we're 1-0 down, it was like an injustice. And I wasn't angry because we didn't change our pattern of play. We didn't change the way we play. The only time we ever look in trouble is when we give the ball away in our midfield areas, and then Rooney and Sigurdsson can be quite dangerous on the counter.
Well, let's talk about that. We can't ignore the fact that Everton scored a goal very much against the run of play. Arsenal had battered them. We hadn't heard a peep, had we, out of the Everton fans. And then all of a sudden, I think Per Mertesacker plays a ball into the feet of Granit Xhaka, who thinks he's got all the time in the world, and unfortunately he didn't.
The thing is, when it goes into Mertesacker should be talking to Granit Xhaka anyway. Granit Xhaka should be more side on, or you should have a look over your shoulder before the ball comes to you, because it's not as if Gay is right up his back. He's probably about 6-7 yards away, so he's being closed down. So then you should have an awareness. And obviously, there might be an argument it could have been a foul, but that really isn't the point, because again, it was self-inflicted, because you should have more awareness. Then when Wayne Rooney gets it, again, maybe Mertesacker can get a little bit closer and go and block the shot. But take nothing away from Ray Rooney, it's a brilliant ball to bend it in Petr Cech's top right ankle.
It's a magnificent finish, it really is. We'll just touch briefly on the Gunners' reply. For all their good football, it actually came from just a straightforward shot and a rebound.
Well, yeah, a bit of redemption from Granit Xhaka. Obviously, the ball comes out to him. He hits it from 25 yards. Again, being critical of Pickford, maybe he can actually palm it square of himself, but it has gone out like 8 or 9 yards. To be fair to Monreal, he's the one whose momentum took him into the box, and he smashed it on the half volley. And it was nothing more than we deserved.
No, it was a quality finish, no doubt about it, from Nacho Monreal, and a pretty good first period from the Gunners, especially in an attacking sense. Now, we love a cheeky bit of banter between players here on the Matchday Show, and today sees the return of our popular feature, Rapid Fire, in an all-Spanish affair. Nacho Monreal and Hector Bellerin go head-to-head.
So first question, what was the first game you ever saw on TV?
Must have been of Spain's national team. I think players like Raúl, Morientes were playing.
It was a long time ago.
A long time ago. Yeah. Who is your favourite wrestler? You don't even know what a wrestler is, isn't it?
El Enterrador.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker, yeah. Same as you?
Same.
Favorite animal?
Favorite animal, the dog.
Dog.
100%, I love my dog. Yeah.
Toto.
Otto.
Toto. And favorite cartoon?
I don't know. Now, Rick and Morty. So funny.
So funny.
But I watch it now. Not when I was a kid, I watch it now. No, it's not for kids.
Okay.
Favorite piece of clothing that you own? I know it.
Lamban? You know me.
Since I've been here.
I like it.
What? Some shoes, pair of shoes,
Pair of shoes.
Been wearing them for 5 years.
Aside from football, what other sport were you good at when you were a kid?
To be fair, every sport, I was that kid that I could play everything. Handball, we used to play in school.
I never played handball.
Yeah, in school we used to play handball all the time. Basketball, tennis, volleyball, anything. Have you got a skill or talent that no one knows about?
Maybe one. I know to move my stomach like Shakira.
You have to show him now.
No, I'm not gonna.
Most painful thing that ever happened to you?
Probably when I broke my knee.
Yeah?
The menisc. Yeah, it was
painful, yeah.
Yeah, it was painful, yeah. What miss most when you were away from home?
The weather. The food a little bit as well, and the family, of course, but I need the sun.
Yeah.
Here, we're not getting much. I've been here for a long time, so I mean, I'm used to it and I love it here.
Yeah.
But
you
it's
miss,
just like there's always gonna be little things that you're gonna miss. What is the biggest telling off you've ever had?
My mom. She killed me, yeah. One day I was in the school, I remember, and the ball was on the ceiling, and I tried to catch it.
Yeah.
And I remember it was 3 or 4 meters from the floor.
Yeah.
I climbed, and after touch the ball, I drop, I fall, and I broke my arm.
Did you hit your head or something?
No, I don't think so, but maybe. But I remember my mom watched it, and she killed me. Deserved it, yeah, honestly.
Who would you least like to mark in a game?
Probably Messi.
Yeah.
Going right back to when you were a child, what is the most goals you have ever scored in a game?
When I was really, really young, probably like 10, something like this. When it probably was the same for you. When you were young, you were the best player in the team.
I was a striker as well.
Striker, yeah?
Striker.
You've just been going down and down.
No. One season, over 30 goals.
Really? What is the toughest player in the club to go past?
Probably you. It's difficult. If I dribbling you, you always come back. After pay me a coffee, yeah.
If you go out for dinner with a teammate, who would you pick?
All the Spanish guys. Probably you, Santi.
What would you eat?
Oof.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese food, yeah, I like Asian food.
Yeah.
If you could travel back in time, who would you most like to meet and why?
Don't know.
Next one?
Probably Maradona. I mean, I could meet him now, but I would like to meet him when he was at his best.
Yeah.
What do you listen to on the way to training?
Reggaeton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like Spanish music. I don't really like English music, so no.
Name one thing you'd like to do when you retire.
Travel a lot. I'm traveling a lot, but we stay in the hotel. We spend too many time in the hotel, in the stadiums, but we don't have time to discover different places in the country. So I will travel a lot. And favorite fruit?
Say pineapple.
Pineapple.
Yeah, exotic, you know. Luckiest thing that's ever happened to you?
Wow, when I won the lottery, the million. I was joking.
I was gonna say I didn't know about this.
Yeah, me too. I know you like read books, so first book you read, do you remember?
I don't remember. It must have been like 3 Pigs. I don't know.
I remember, yeah.
What habit of yours drives your teammates mad? You know why I asked you this question?
I'm not gonna say it. I can't. Sorry, but nah. What are you doing?
I can't say. If you don't want to say it, I can't say it.
I can't say it too.
I thought you would say it, but cool.
Thank you.
That was bant central, wasn't it, between the two Spaniards there? Quite enjoyed it. I think we got the gist of what Nacho Monreal's bad habit was. And you, Perry Groves, have called Nacho Monreal out as a lookalike of somebody else.
I think he's a better looking Peter Crouch. That's what it looks like. And the thing is, you know the way that the game's changed? When he said, who would you like to spend time with? And he said, hardest person to get past. And he said, you. He said, oh, I still have to take you out for a coffee. It should be a beer, shouldn't it? It was like that in my days. I'd owe you a few pints for that. Not a mocha chocolate.
Yeah, the game's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Very quickly before we go to Nicole, he mentioned there that he was a striker. And I think we saw from the quality of his finish there in the half volley, as we did in the previous game when he scored here at Emirates Stadium. He knows where the back of the net is.
Yeah, that was instinctive, and it was just a good strike, wasn't it? Nice, clean, like half volley. He said one of the season he got 30 goals, didn't he? So
that's probably for the under-10s or something.
Yeah, and he was probably like a foot taller than everybody else.
Right, what have you lot made of that first period? I would imagine you're pretty impressed, although we want to be ahead, don't we? Let's find out with some tweets from Nicole.
Yeah, we've had tons of tweets coming in, and generally everyone is quite happy with that first half. So RX Informatics says Arsenal are coming back strong and forcefully. Ryan 12914 says love the pace and speed of this match between Arsenal and Everton. This one doesn't disappoint. The final whistle says Monreal does it again. Cracking strike. And Nick James Long says yes, Monreal, great finish. Such a strong player for us this season at Arsenal. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag EFCVAFC, and you can send your emails into dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
Nice one, Nicole. A lot of love, as you'd expect, for Nacho Monreal. It was a really good finish. And one of the tweeters there mentioned the pace of the game, and that's something we were talking about here off air, wasn't it? It was played at a good tempo, particularly from Arsenal, in possession. Sometimes they're accused, aren't they, Perry, of moving the ball around too slowly. Not today.
Not today at all. It's got a good flow to it, and it's surprisingly quite open. You know, I thought Everton might be a little bit set up a bit better defensively, but the reason that we're very good on the counter attack is when it's coming to Mesut Ozil, 9 times out of 10 his first pass is to go forward. So he's coming into him, he just helps it round the corner, helps it into Lacazette, and then that enables Bellerin to fly, down the right, and Kolasinac go down the left. This is all. Without underestimating Everton, this is going to be all about us. It's all about do not take unnecessary risks, don't give them a leg up, because next goal, then you make the game comfortable for you. I don't want them to have a player sent off either. Because if they have a player sent off, then they end up retreating, and it's siege mentality. I'd rather them just stay 11v11.
Williams and Garner Guy, are both on a yellow card at the moment. Williams, we thought, was a little bit unlucky, or a little bit lucky rather, not to get a second yellow. The replay proved otherwise. But yeah, so far so good for Arsenal. Can they kick on, like Perry says, and take all 3 points? If they play like they did in that first period, you'd imagine that is more than possible. We just need to be ruthless. Right, let's head straight back to Goodison Park and rejoin our men on the mics, Rob Kelly and Dan Roebuck.
Many thanks. 2 teams have emerged from the tunnel. Ashley Williams has been taken off ahead of this second half, and Tom Davis has come on. Now that is attacking intent from Ronald Koeman. He's been applauded by the fans all around us, and it means a switch of system for Everton as well. Obviously now reverting to a back 4 with John Joe Kenny right back, Leighton Baines left back, and 2 centre-halves, Jagielka and Keane. Davis is going to play left-hand side of a midfield trio. It's going to be 4-3-3, it looks like, from an Everton point of view. We will watch with interest as Calvert-Lewin jumps into Monreal again right from the get-go. We've only had 9 seconds. Their duel has resumed. Cleared to the halfway line by the Gunners. 1-1 here as Arsenal look to win the Premier League game for the first time this campaign away from home and pick up a valuable 3 points that will send them into 5th place. Arsenal's certainly enjoying the most shots on target that they've managed in the first half a game in the Premier League since May 2015 when they beat West Brom at home, you might recall. It was good stuff from the Gunners, not as ruthless as we would have hoped for. Jordan Pickford can take some credit for that. Our sharpshooter's aim was just a little off, unfortunately, as well. Pickford will look to knock it long, just to run through the two teams in full for you. Arsenal with Pickford in goal, Arsenal with Cech in goal. Back three, should say, of Mertesacker, Koscielny and Monreal. And the wing-backs of Kolasinac and Bellerin. Ramsey and Xhaka in midfield. Ramsey's been allowed a lot of licence to get forward. Ozil and Alexis in behind Lacazette. First time that they've started a Premier League game, that trio. In Everton, we mentioned that back four. Midfield then for Gay alongside Davis and Sigurdsson, and it's going to be Calvert-Lewin and Wayne Rooney and Vlasic, who's just been moved a little bit further forward. Be interested to see how that develops. Might be Vlasic and Sigurdsson might swap a little, but fairly fluid for both teams, as we know. Everton have got a free kick on the right-hand side here, midway inside the Arsenal half, and Sigurdsson inevitably is standing over this. It's too long out to try and take a shot on target, but he's going to curl this towards the edge of the penalty area. One suspects plenty of movement on the edge of the box. It's swinging towards Keane with a header, and it's into the Gladys Street end away to our left-hand side. There's a rather large post in our eyesight. It means that I can't see the penalty spot. Rob, I suspect you can't see the D outside of that.
No, you can't see any of the D, yeah.
It's very old-fashioned, Goodison Park. There are old pillars all the way around 3 sides of the ground, and it does make it difficult when the ball pings towards the area.
Not as difficult as it is for us to move in this press box. I'm really, really getting up close and personal with you
that
in
is
this
right.
game.
Yeah, we are. Yes. Yeah, we're certainly squeezed in the front row of the press box at Goodison Park. It's always been the way, but these particular seats, in all my years of coming here, I don't think I've ever had. I'll try and put a request in for next year, presuming Everton are still in the top flight.
You sound hopeful.
These seats are anything to go by. They can go down for me. Free kick to the Gunners. Xhaka wants to take it quickly, but he's unable to do so because Gay's in the way. And it's going to be a free kick eventually taken by Alexis Sanchez. We've had nearly 3 minutes of this second half. Nothing really to write home about just yet from an Arsenal attacking point of view. Let's see if we can conjure something here. Ozil and Alexis standing over this, a 2-man wall. It's way outside the box here, 35 yards or so. Let's see what Alexis can do. He just shoots towards goal, but it hits the wall. Vlasic took one for the team in the midriff, and he's bent double for a second. Monreal recovers, finds Petr Cech, left-footed, punts it forward. Ramsey's on the move here, and he might fall towards Aaron Ramsey. A kind bounce sends it going for Pickford, who wants to get Baines away on the left-hand side. He jumps with Koscielny. Arsenal retrieve possession. Everton fans not happy there, Rob. Did they think it was handball?
I think they thought it might even have been an elbow from Koscielny there. It just really weren't happy at all about that.
This is Xhaka. Arsenal continue. Left-hand side. The Gunners come forward. Kolasinac's touch. Now it's with Alexis back towards Monreal. Monreal looks to slide it forward for Kolasinac once more. Here is Monreal once again. Short now for Mesut Ozil. Steps away from Idrissa Gueye. Gets back goal side as the Senegalese international. Now it's with Alexis over on the left-hand side. Cuts inside, still going forward. Chips in inside the area. Looks for Hector Bellerin. It's cleared away by Sigurdsson. Koscielny back in. Alexis looks to try and control it the second time he does. Now it's with Bellerin once again. Plenty to aim at inside the box here. In comes the cross. It's cleared away. Arsenal still pressing. This is Koscielny. That's a wild cross, and it's over the crossbar. It was awful from Koscielny. A little bit of panic there in the Everton defence, maybe?
Bit of panic. Lovely ball from Alexis out to Hector Bellerin, flying through on the right-hand side. It's just his final ball to let him down again there. He's got into some really good positions today so far, Hector Bellerin. He's just got to take a bit more care over that final ball.
Jack Dillon's been on saying 2-1 today, is his prediction. Had 5 minutes of this second period. Pickford punts it long, Calvert-Lewin flicks it on, Rooney will turn it to the right hand side, Calvert-Lewin goes again, he's done well to get to the byline, low ball in, cleared away by Koscielny, an important clearance as well. Sigurdsson was lurking. This is just the Ghana gate. He looks to try and take it beyond Kolasinac, and Kolasinac is too strong and wins it fairly. Does well to find Alexis. Alexis looks for Xhaka. Xhaka gives the ball away, then wins it back, and then Davis catches Lacazette. That's poor from Davis. That's going to be a free kick. Alexis isn't happy. Fans don't like Alexis, Everton fans that is, because he's complaining every single time that an Arsenal man is chopped down, but rightly so. That was pretty cynical, I thought, from Davis on Lacazette.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing there, because, you know, Arsenal were attacking in numbers at that point. Sometimes you need to do that. You need players in your team who are going to do something like that, though, who might be able to just take a yellow card just to slow down an attack.
This is Nacho Monreal. 2 goals in his last 3 now. Alexis chips it forward towards Xhaka, cleared away by Jagielka. Rooney will take it in his stride. He's done well. Wayne Rooney up against Ramsey. Looks to try and find Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson has got Vlasic racing forward on the right-hand side. He's also got John Joe Kenny. Here is John Joe Kenny. It's towards Calvert-Lewin. That's a comfortable header down, though, from Mertesacker, who finds Monreal. Monreal, left-footed, swoops it forward, looks for the movement of Mesut Ozil, but the pass isn't great. That should be easy for Jagielka. Jagielka will help it back. Baines will help it back to Jagielka. Jagielka now finds Michael Keane. And Keane tries to knock it long, but Alexis is in the way, and that's out for an Everton throw on that far side.
Seems to be a bit more about Everton in this start of the second half. They've got a bit more attacking intent, putting themselves into tackles a bit more. The fans are responding to that as well. Arsenal have just got to soak that bit up, because they've got the enduring quality, you'd imagine. And it's interesting that Ashley Williams came off. I mean, it might have been a tactical switch. He might have wanted to make that anyway, but I think Ashley Williams, as we both pointed out in the first half, looked like a bit of a liability from their point of view.
I think he was. Vlasic breaks forward, right-hand side, inside the penalty area, still going forward, looks to get the shot off. It's cleared away after a good block, and now it's Lacazette to pick it up for Arsenal. He's got plenty of options here. One of them is Ramsey. Lacazette once again. Alexis calling for it left-hand side. Ozil has made a move on the right. Here is Alexis on the left, still coming forward. Angle of the box, chips it forward. Ozil with a header! Brilliantly done! Mesut Ozil with a flicked header over Jordan Pickford. Arsenal lead by 2-1 at Goodison Park. Well, it was reminiscent of the header that he scored against Watford last campaign. This one even better to a certain extent. He had more to do. Brilliantly guided in, ghosting inside the penalty area. Who says that Mesut Ozil doesn't fancy it on a cold day on Merseyside, because he's been very good today and he's put the Gunners in front. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 2. Mesut Ozil with a terrific goal.
Lovely goal from Mesut Ozil. I think that's the third headed goal of his career, possibly. He scored one against Stoke as well, but it's a lovely finish, that one, wasn't it? It was a lovely smooth move up through the midfield. Lacazette out to Alexis. Beautiful ball to pick out at Ozil, and he's done very well with the finish, and I'm really glad for Mesut Ozil, because I often think that he is unfairly treated. People use him as a bit of a scapegoat, and I think he's actually played very well today. He's created a load of chances, he's worked his socks off, and that's a lovely headed finish. Terrific performance from him so far. Arsenal just need a third goal now, and I think this game will be pretty much done.
No more than Arsenal deserve over what we've seen in the 54 minutes of action here at Goodison. Mesut Ozil, who's coming for a whole manner of stick this campaign, gets his first goal of the season. He scored 8 last season, you know, his best return in Arsenal colours. And whatever you say about Mesut Ozil, his quality is very good. Does he put it in every single game? That's what people suggest that he doesn't. Does he not fancy it ever? I don't think that's right. He covers an awful lot of ground. His stats always suggest that he covers ground. The sprints are good. He might not make the challenges all the time, but he's not necessarily in the team for that. Yes, there's 1 or 2 games where he might have had a poor game, but you can level that at even the very best players. This is Ozil, right-hand side. Now it's Bellerin towards Lacazette, cleared away by Keane. Ozil will chase back and win it. Says that's mine to Laurent Koscielny, and then flicks it back towards the Frenchman. Koscielny, right-hand side, looking to come forward down the right wing, looking to try and take on Sigurdsson. Good wing play, looks to get the cross in here, and the shot over the crossbar. Should have been another, and this time it is way over. That's a big miss from Aaron Ramsey.
Massive opportunity to really put this game to bed. Brilliant play from Laurent Koscielny, charging up the right like a fullback, wasn't he? Just uses his pace, does really well to get it, picks out the right ball, and Aaron Ramsey, you've seen him put those balls away before. He snatched at that one a bit and sent it way over the bar. That's a big opportunity.
Ramsey's had 2 big chances in this game. One saved, one over. It really should have been 3, and that might have been the game. As it is, just the 1 goal in it. Arsenal lead 2-1, but a rampant coming forward. They've been caught out here, though, penalised for a foul on Gay. And it's going to be a free kick to Everton, about 10 or 15 yards inside the Arsenal half. Sigurdsson wants to take it from a bit close in. Craig Coulson is saying you're going to have to move it back a little bit. Gylfi. Alexis eventually moves away. That's something that the Everton fans weren't happy about. They've not been happy about Alexis for much of the game. So Sigurdsson, up goes the signal. Everton looking to get back on terms here. It's curled towards the far post, and Calvert-Lewin, who heads it towards goal. No, it's a good defensive work from Koscielny. Ramsey looks to help out. Calvert-Lewin has it though, looking to muscle his way through. Koscielny will thump away at the second attempt, deep into Everton territory, where Pickford comes outside of his own penalty area, takes a touch, and then decides to launch it long himself. Keane has stayed forward, jumping with Xhaka. That seemed to be a shove in the back of Xhaka. It's a free kick to Arsenal. This is Xhaka. And now Monreal. Kolasinac forward towards Alexis, but radar was off a little through towards Keane instead. And now it's Jagielka and Davis, who's barely had a touch since coming on as a half-time sub. He's knocked it forwards here towards Calvert-Lewin, but 3 Arsenal players around the Everton striker, and the Gunners will clear. This is Kolasinac, knocks the ball off the shins of Vlasic, and it's back with Pericek, who will put more meat on the bones of the clearance. Keane with a header up into the air. It's all a bit scrappy in that middle area at the moment. Xhaka wins the 50-50 with Gay. And now it's Alexis who comes forward on the left-hand side, up against Davis. Still racing forward. Davis wins it back, knocks it down, looks for Vlasic, moves away from Kolasinac, and then comes to this near side, the left flank, where Leighton Baines is stationed. Approaching now, 58 minutes. And still, Arsenal have that advantage courtesy of Mesut Ozil's headed effort. Stephen Miller is asking what we think of Hector Bellering's season so far. Well, I think he was put under pressure a little bit last campaign. I think he's done okay. I know that he's been criticised in the odd quarter as Ozil looks to switch it here towards Lacazette, and it's cleared away towards Hector Bellerin. Bellerin takes it down first time. Now it's with Lacazette, but can't quite find the Spanish fullback once again. How's Hector done for you this season?
I think he's done okay. I think he's sort of, his performances have mirrored that of the team really a lot of the time. I think he's looked very good at times, and I think he struggled in other periods as well. I think he's a very good Premier League right back, and I think he's still quite young. He's been in the team quite a long time, so people maybe expecting a bit more from him. I think there's a lot more to come from him. I think he's been solid enough. I can't remember any major mistakes from him, put it that way.
No, I think he's been all right, as you say. He's mirrored what we've seen in the team. We've got an issue here. We've got a player down, and we've got a huge post in the way, so we can't see who it is. I suspect is it an Everton player? I can't quite see who it is. Someone's down receiving treatment. When we resume, it'll be an Everton throw. Is it an Everton player who's down or Arsenal? I can't see.
I've got a feeling it's Calvert-Lewin, but I can't be sure. He was the one who's running over to that side anyway.
So a halt in play here, Arsenal leading by 2-1. Don't forget we'll have full live commentary of the League Cup fixture, Carabao Cup fixture on Tuesday night as Arsenal entertain Norwich with a place at the quarter-final at stake through the last 8 if Arsenal beat the Championship side. And then we move on to the next weekend, and Swansea at home An opportunity to get another 3 points on the board against the side who were beaten yesterday, of course, went down to Leicester by 2-1. Now with Michael Appleton in charge, of course, the Foxes. Starts to get busy though as we run into November, and then after the final break for international football, which seemingly comes so regularly this season, December is very, very busy, certainly if Arsenal qualify for the last day of the League Cup. Throwing to be taken then by Everton. Still got the trainer on, in fact, over on far side. Unfortunately, we can't see who it is.
It is Calvert-Lewin. Yep.
Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, he's got a problem with his face. He's got something. Yeah, I think he's got an issue with his nose. Give some treatment to it.
Everton have got Umar Niasse on the bench, amongst others, if they want to make a change as a striker. Kevin Morales as well. Ademola Lookman. He's another player that they could potentially bring on and switch things around up top. He's got a bit of pace. Lookman, Carson and Cuco Martino, the other outfield players on the Everton bench. And Hulk Robles, the keeper. Arsenal, incidentally, just to remind you, Matt Macy on the bench today. Young keeper because of that injury to David Ospina. Alongside Wilshere, Giroud, Walcott, Holding and Welby Cochran. We've restarted at long last, and Everton have wasted their throw, and Arsenal now have a go, look to try to clear their lines over on that far side. And it will be Kolasinac who's going to throw this one. It's going to be long down the line, it would appear so. And it's flicked in field by John Joe Kenny, but Gay is there. Now it's with Mertesacker to put the laces through it, high up into the afternoon sky in Merseyside. Knocked back by Leighton Baines. This is Hector Bellerin. Baines slides to win it back, and then Koscielny is there. Bellerin does well to divert back towards Koscielny, then plays it down the line for Ramsey. Ramsey's onside, up against Davis. Lacazette calling for it. Still Alan Ramsey. Gets away from Davis once, but not twice, and it's out for a corner. Needed maybe to get the ball in a little quicker there.
Yeah, if he just got that ball in slightly quicker, Lacazette was looking to burst right across the box to the near post.
Calvert-Lewin is not yet back on. He needs a different shirt at the minute, it would appear. Now he's got it. He'll be coming back onto the field of play shortly. Craig Pawson, the referee, just looks at this near side. He might come on after this corner though. Mesut Ozil gets ready to take this flag kick, right hand side, left footed, and Arsenal have lined up mob-handed far post at the moment. Maybe Ramsey's going to make a run near post. Maybe Mertesacker, who's left alone at the moment, and it comes towards Per Mertesacker. It's punched away as far as Alexis looks to get the shot away, and another opportunity. It may well have hit his own man there, and it's cleared away by Everton.
Good chance there, wasn't it? It's going right towards Per Mertesacker, and you know, when you've got a guy who's about whatever he is, 6'8" or something like that, it's incredible that he seemed to be pretty much unmarked in the area. Pickford just got the hand on it. Arsenal look far more likely to get the next goal, and you feel like that next goal would kill this game because the crowd's very, very quiet at the moment. It's just the Arsenal fans you can hear here at Goodison Park.
Sun has come out a little. This is first on today in the Premier League. Bit of a Merseyside North London mash-up today. Spurs host Liverpool at Wembley, and of course we're here against Everton, and Arsenal keeping the Capitals' end up at the moment, so to speak. Arsenal have got some defensive work to do. In comes the cross from the right-hand side. Gylfi Sigurdsson can't keep it in play. It's not really his game, is it, Sigurdsson, to try and win balls in the air? You just feel he's not being used in the right way from an Everton point of view. I'm not complaining today, but just as a neutral, sometimes you think to yourself, quite like to see him play football. He's a quality player.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very good player, isn't he, when he's on his game? And, you know, I think at Swansea he was the main man, wasn't he, at Swansea? And particularly remember when he used to link up with Wilfred Boney very well. But, yeah, he's not been... I don't think Everton are particularly using him to his best strength so far this season. I've got friends who are Everton fans, and they say they want to see a bit more from him, but they're not really sure about the position that he's been played in.
Yeah, well, certainly on the evidence of this, and this is the first time that I've seen him play in the flesh this season, completely agree. Not been in the game, can still deliver a ball though, so he's still dangerous. Arsenal have to be wary of that. Well, just a goal to the good, 2-1 here at Goodison Park. Since the goal, we've seen as much cut and thrust from either side. This is Petr Cech, left-footed, and punts it long, and it's Jagielka to knock it for Baines. Baines launches it long, and Mertesacker jumps into Calvert-Lewin, and that's going to be a free kick. Mark Spinon says greetings from Malmo. Good to see what is clearly Arsenal's preferred 11 doing the job, but given that you won't put it past Arsenal to let in another goal at the death, we need another. Get a third and it may be floodgates, but until then it's going to be nervy, says Mark, who's out in Malmo. Thanks for the commentary. Free kick taken by Sigurdsson, looking for Baines, and it comes towards Rooney, nodded away by Koscielny. Keane will pick it up over on the right hand side. He's a little bit awkward, the centre half, as Kolasinac looks to win it back, but he's done well, Keane, to find Vlasic. Vlasic turns, whips in the cross, but there's nobody there, and it's going to spin away for a throw into Arsenal on this near side. And jogs across to take. Needs a little bit of movement maybe here, just a couple of yards away from the corner flag on the right hand side. Hector Bellerin will launch it long to Lacazette. Lacazette's control is at a loft. Davis steals in and wins it. Now it's with Keane under pressure. Jagielka decides to go all the way back to Jordan Pickford. We've had 66 minutes here at Goodison Park. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 2. The Gunners were trailing in the game to a Wayne Rooney goal from just outside of the box. That's Mesut Ozil header after Nacho Monreal had levelled things, means that Arsenal at the moment are going to pick up the 3 points. Long punt forward by Monreal. Lacazette beaten in the air by Keane, but then Kolasinac looks to take it on and then called handball. Kolasinac. And the Everton fans aren't happy here because they believe that Kolasinac has knocked the ball away twice. In truth, he was actually playing it back to where the free kick was going to be taken. How's Kolasinac done for you today? I
think he's done very well. I'm a big fan of Kolasinac, I've got to say. I think he gives that physical presence. So still in?
No, the ball's gone.
Yeah, I think he's just got that physical presence at left back, isn't he, or left wing back, wherever you want to call it. And he's a big unit, and he's just very, very quick and powerful going forward. I think he did really, really well for the chance that Alexis had just before half time when he got away down the left hand side deliberately into Ozil, who slips it to Alexis. I just think I think he's a really solid performer. I think the Premier League suits him down to the ground. I think he's been excellent ever since he's come into the side. I think now that we're using him in his preferred position at left wing back, I think he's looked excellent.
Absolutely. Baines for Everton on the halfway line, forward towards Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin back towards Idrissa Gueye. Now it's with Wayne Rooney. Rooney side foots it to the right hand side, and John Joe Kenny stabs it forwards here. Vlasic looks to turn his man. Xhaka with a good strong challenge to win it back. Now it's Kolasinac over on that left hand side. Kolasinac, for Xhaka, caught by Gueye. He's going to be in trouble here, and there is the second yellow, followed by the red card, and he knew straight away. He doesn't even complain, and neither do any of his teammates, and do you know what, neither do the Goodison Park crowd either.
No, you can usually tell, can't you, the reaction of a crowd, whether they think something's justified, and obviously no one's complaining at all. That was a dead late challenge, wasn't it, from Gueye? And
he's in trouble, Xhaka.
Yeah,
I've not seen the challenge again. He's not happy at all. I don't know if we're going to see it again here, Rob. You can crane your neck to get a...
Yeah, he's gone in slightly high, hasn't he, with it as well. He's gone right in on the ankle. Yeah, he's just caught him. I mean, there's nothing in it really in terms of he's not trying to hurt the player or anything like that. It's just mistimed, and that's a red card he could have seen coming actually, because he's, like I said, he's gone in late a few times in this game on players, and I suppose you've got Francis Coquelin on the bench. He would be if Arsenal have to make a change. I know he's been out injured, but Coquelin would probably be the more natural replacement. And Wilshire's obviously there, of course,
I was about to say, Lee's been on email saying Wilshere on for Xhaka, Walcott on for Ozil, Giroud on for Lacazette, in that order, just to turn things around, fresh legs, just to keep Arsenal on the bubble, it would appear. Xhaka's limping away to that far side. Whether Arsene Wenger is going to change anything, we will wait and see. At the minute, we've got warming up. Jack Wilshere's warming up. Francis Coquelin is warming up. And if there is another person there behind the post, so I can't see. Xhaka is back on. Looks to be moving okay. Everton are down to 10. And given the scoreline, given the situation, Arsenal should.
This is where we need to be ruthless, though, isn't it? This is where you just really got to go for them. They've got to, spend the next 5 or 10 minutes just absolutely pummeling them with chances. They've got it in the game. I feel like the foot's been slightly taken off the gas since we went 2-1 up, but I really feel like now's the opportunity. They're down to 10 men. The ground's very, very quiet. I think this is our opportunity to put this game to bed.
Those emails coming in. We'll get to 1 or 2 more in just a second. Long punt forward by Pickford. This is Davis, and then Ramsey wins it back, and suddenly Xhaka's on the move, and Alexis wants it, and he's onside here. Pickford's going to come a long way, and he's outside of his area, and eventually he does clear into the stand. And that's going to be an issue for Everton if they decide that they are going to try and be a little bit ambitious to get this goal back. They're just going to get caught out, aren't they?
Yeah, it all plays into Arsenal's hands, but we've just got to make sure that we're a bit more ruthless, a bit more clinical what we're doing.
20 minutes remaining here at Goodison Park. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 2, and it's Nacho Monreal that has possession at the moment. Now it's with Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey looking for the crossfield ball. It's cut out by Gylfi Sigurdsson, and the ball goes out of play again. This is Alistair, Ali Bachelor and family saying, enjoying listening to you via the app in Somerset. Arsenal to win 3-1, next goal for Lacazette, says Alistair. Glad to have you along, Ali. I think you're doing well. Obviously the scoreline is cheering us all up at the moment. This is Lacazette coming forward, incidentally, but Keane is in his way, and Keane does well to win it from the Frenchman, then looks to knock it long down the line. Calvert-Lewin with a bit of a shove on Koscielny. That goes unnoticed. This is Vlasic, who turns away from Ozil. Ozil gets the challenge in. This is Calvert-Lewin. Xhaka makes the challenge. That's going to be a free kick to Everton. Finally, Xhaka's just got to watch himself a little.
I think Jack Wilshere could be coming on now. We've just seen Steve Bold give him the nod, and he's running towards.
Yeah, Jack Wilshere's coming across. Does he want Jack Wilshere, or does he want somebody else? Because Jack keeps looking behind him. Francis Coquelin is looking across, so is Olivier Giroud. No, I presume it's going to be Jack. Free kick taken by Everton. This is Baines on the left-hand side, looks to get the cross in here. Mertesacker heads away, and that's good strong play from Lacazette. And now it's with Mesut Ozil. Ozil will curl it over to the left-hand side, and suddenly there's options here. It's forward towards Lacazette. Can he take it on? Tries to prod it forward for Ramsey. But Ramsey wasn't quite on the same wavelength, and in truth, the direction of the ball was more towards the keeper, who picks it up. But you've just got to be a little cuter in situations like that, because he doesn't take a lot to go straight through Everton.
No, absolutely. The chances are going to be there in these last 18 minutes or so. They're not really... They're lacking energy, Everton, now, aren't they? They look a beaten side, but for the quality they've got out there, they could spring a surprise on us, and we've just got to make sure that the next goal comes from us, because those opportunities look like they're starting to stack up.
Let's see what Ozil can do here. Ramsey and Lacazette want it inside the penalty area. Still Mesut Ozil. Lacazette! 3-1, there is the third goal. For those suggesting that Alex Lacazette would get on the score sheet today, you're dead right. Ozil with the assist, and a simple finish. Everton at 6s and 7s at the back. They are tired, they are minus a man, and they are 2 goals down. It is Everton 1, Arsenal 3. Lacazette with his 5th of the season and his first away from Emirates in an Arsenal shirt. And surely that has given the points to the Gunners. And let's hope, as Rob, you've pointed out, we can kick on and maybe grab 1 or 2 more here.
Absolutely, the chances there. I'm really pleased for Alex Lacazette, because he had that early opportunity. He was well saved by Pickford. He's run his socks off today. He's looked very lively. The ball doesn't seem to be running for him particularly kindly, but it was a really good opportunity, really good break from Arsenal there. Mesut Ozil picked out exactly the right pass, and Lacazette's not going to miss from whatever he was, 12-13 yards out. He's not going to miss from there. It's a cool finish, and that really should be that for Arsenal today.
Wayne Rooney has come off first and foremost, and Niasse is going to come on. And the other change features Ademola Lookman for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So that's the change. Niasse and Lookman are on. Rooney and Calvert-Lewin are off. We were just wondering if Jack Wilshere was going to come on there as well, but if he is, he's not ready just yet. But I think he is going to come on shortly for Arsenal. Matthew's emailed in. This is Matthew, who's on a BA flight to New York, listening via the app at 36,000 feet. Great show as always. 3 points will do nicely. Great to have you along, Matthew, and hopefully you're enjoying your flight. Be it a BA flight, I would expect you're not as cramped as we are. We are firmly cattle class at Goodison Park, I can tell you. Knees in our chins at the minute. This is Ramsey, challenges Davis. That's a free kick. It's going to be maybe a yellow card as well here. Nacho Monreal isn't happy about something. Davis suggesting that it was a bit serious. One or two Arsenal players suggesting it might have been a dive. The referee speaking to at the minute. Referee surrounded by players. Alexis, I think, has just been guilty of a bit more back chat here, and Koscielny's been called across to intervene. Or is it Kolasinac? No, it's Kolasinac, isn't it? That he wants a word with. Just a word and no more. And it's going to be a free kick to Everton over on that right-hand side, which Gylfi Sigurdsson will take, and we know what he can do with the ball at his feet. Is this an opportunity for Everton to reduce the deficit? 3-1 they trail, and Gylfi Sigurdsson is standing over this right-footed outswinger, and it comes towards Lookman, who's in an offside position. Waste, really. Lee's been back on saying, just to let you know that I'm watching from Burlington, Ontario in Canada. Come on, Arsenal. It's Lee. So here comes the change, and it's Jack Wilshere, you may well have heard on the Everton PA, who is coming on here, and it's Alex Lacazette who is coming off. Bit of a change around. And as you were pointing out, Rob, I think that means that basically Jack is going to play in his sort of favoured position.
Yeah, I think it'll be Alexis through the middle now.
Oh no, maybe Jack a little bit left, or yeah. Leftish. I think certainly Ozil and Alexis, when they were playing in those positions previously, got a lot of licence, and Jack will as well, to get forward. This is Pickford to deny Kolasinac. And Pickford will place the ball on the edge of his penalty area. Anne's been back on, says that delighted to have a 2-goal cushion, might actually finish the game with some fingernails left for a change. Anne from Switzerland, who's emailed in. This is Jack Wilshere, straight to the pace of the play. He's got Alexis to the right-hand side. He's got Mesut Ozil as well. It's a poor ball towards Mesut Ozil, and he can't quite keep it in play. And that's going to be a throw-in, which Baines will take down towards Davis. Davis on the edge of his own penalty area, nearly runs into Ramsey. Ramsey wins it back. Alexis on the move. How on earth can that be a free kick? That's never a free kick.
Never a free kick,
never a free kick. He's won the ball fair and square, but referees deemed it a free kick. Everton, then a poor defensive header from Koscielny, and Lookman might be on the move here. Runs back towards this near side, needs a bit of help, but there isn't any forthcoming at the moment. Still, Lookman has possession. He's up against Ramsey now. This is Baines, and it's out for an Everton throw. Left-hand side, taken by Baines for Lookman. Now it's with Davis. Davis takes the shot on, and that's comfortable for Petacek to make the save, who will then roll it out towards Kolasinac over on the left-hand side. Is there more in this game? From an Arsenal point of view, we've been treated to some terrific games between these two over the years here. Certainly some spectacular Arsenal victories as Ramsey looks to get forward through the centre, but it's cleared away by Leighton Baines. Wilshere wins it back. Ozil has it, plays it towards Alexis. Right-hand side, he's onside here. Still coming forward, tries to get the shot away. It's towards Ozil. It's cleared by Everton eventually. Ramsey, Ozil, Alexis between them couldn't get the shot off.
I can't believe they haven't scored there, really. They just seem to be queuing up for it, and they've really got in each other's way. But, you know, this is like we're talking about being ruthless. We've got to be ruthless here. You know, Everton are there to be taking. He could be scoring 4 or 5 here today.
Well, I was here for a 6-1 Arsenal win a few years ago when Thomas Vermaelen made his debut and scored, and Fabregas got a couple. Even William Gallas was on the score sheet that day.
Danielson also got that wonder goal, didn't he?
He did. Opened the scoring, in fact. Will Arsenal do something similar here? 3-1 with 11 minutes to go. Unlikely, but you would suggest that there are more goals if Arsenal seek them out Here is Ramsey towards Kolasinac. Back towards Ramsey, edge of the area, inside the box. Can he get the shot off? He can, but it's poor from Ramsey. He was being challenged at the time, but they're almost queuing up there. Johnny Farnborough says, hi, many thanks for the great commentary. It's proven to be a happier trip to Merseyside than the Liverpool fixture. The team has come a long way since then and has the promise for the remainder of the season. Keep the faith, says Johnny Farnborough.
Yeah, I was there for that Liverpool game as well. That wasn't a game I particularly ever want to remember or relive.
No, there's a lot wrong with that day.
Today's been very different, really. I know it's a different team. And Liverpool are a far stronger prospect than Everton, but Arsenal have been really good today. I've been particularly impressed with Mesut Ozil. I've got to say, I think he's been the best player on the pitch by quite some distance. I think this is, you see the value of Mesut Ozil on days like this. I mean, he has a lot of criticism, doesn't he? But he's a world-class performer when he's playing like this.
He's been brilliant today. 1 goal, 1 assist. Been involved, covered ground, made challenges, not shirked his responsibility. Here is Ramsey. This is Alexis. Ozil's on the move. Alexis slips into Keane. The referee says play on. Alexis doesn't complain about that one. Don't know why the fans are up in arms. Here is Lookman up against Kolasinac. Lookman finds Jagielka. And now it's with Baines, left-footed forward towards Lookman. Lookman driving forward, runs into Koscielny though, and the Frenchman wins it back. This is Jack Wilshere. Wilshere through towards Alexis. Alexis racing forward, but the pass was a little off, and in truth, it should have been a bit better.
So there's just a bit too much on it there from Jack Wilshere, wasn't it? It's the right idea, but just had a bit too much. Obviously desperate to impress, isn't he, Jack Wilshere out there?
Leon says just need an Alexis goal to wrap up the trio. Hopefully we can hold on and deal with the Koeman curse. Maybe our revenge for the 4-0 Southampton defeat. Getting in the sack. Francis Coquelin coming on for Mesut Ozil, who does look a little tired, I must admit. He has certainly contributed over the course of this game. He's been serenaded by the Arsenal fans opposite side of the ground to where we are. Gets handshakes from Arsene Wenger and Victor Kickman, and then takes his seat down below us on the dugout. Coquelin is on. And I think that's just released Ramsey to play a little bit further forward, hasn't it? This is Koscielny. Now it's with Nacho Monreal, who got the equaliser, such an important strike when it was as well, and such a really good strike also. Coquelin looks to try and play it to the right-hand side, gets a bit lucky. This is Bellerin, close in, and the header from Alexis is wide. It should have been 4. Unmarked, edge of the 6-yard box, threw himself at it, diving header the wrong side of the post as far as we and Alexis are concerned. Really good ball in from the right-hand side from Hector Bellerin. So close to another.
Yeah, really good ball in from Hector Bellerin. I was talking earlier about how he hadn't got his final ball quite right for much of this game, but that one certainly was. He did really well to pick out Alexis. Alexis would have expected to score that one. He's diving header, but he had most of the goal to aim at. He'll be disappointed not to have buried that one.
Okadiji was hopeful that Wilshere would come on for Ramsey to see how he would pair up with the other 3 big names up front. Well, he's still got an opportunity to work with Alexis, obviously. Here is Alexis, edge of the penalty area, forced to turn outside the box on the right-hand side, looks to chip it back inside the area, but Baines sticks to his task, and now it's with Xhaka, away from Vlasic, still going forward on his left side. Thought about the shot, does get the shot off, hit the crossbar! Great hit! And then Ramsey tries to conjure the rebound into the back of the net, but Pickford is there and the ball goes out for a goal kick. What a hit. You could see exactly what he was trying to do. I thought he'd take it a little bit too close in, and we've been crowded out at the time, but a thunderous effort. They hit the crossbar and ricocheted high up into the air, and when Ramsey challenged Pickford for that duel, he must have just dropped off the Welshman and out for a goal kick. Arsenal unlucky on a couple of occasions now, and this could have been a lot more. Could have been 4 or 5 easy, had the chances. Lookman looking to come forward for Everton. 6 minutes remaining here. We'll be back with plenty of discussion at Emirates with all the gang, with tweets, Opta and chat from all of our team back at Emirates as Alexis is onside here, coming forward on the right-hand side. Baines gets back, goal side. Alexis looks to find Jack Wilshere. Pickford's come a long way. Wilshere still has it. Right-hand side looking to chip it towards the back post. Cleared away by Keane. Another poor ball from Wilshere. Brilliant run, but unfortunately couldn't quite find a teammate.
Couldn't quite find him, no. It's Arsenal are really cutting through them, aren't they, all the times, and they really feel like they'll probably be kicking. They'll be really pleased with the win because it's the first away win of the Premier League season, but they really could have won this by 5 or 6, and you sort of fear that Manchester City, for example, might have done that, but you can't complain too much about this Arsenal performance. It's been very good. There's been a few defensive issues in the first half, but there hasn't been much to be worried about in this second half at all. They've been well on top, and they've taken the 2 chances that they have been able to.
Here is Ramsey to the left-hand side. Kolasinac, Ramsey inside the area, Bellerin in acres of space, takes it down first time, edge of the box on his left side, gets the shot off, good block from Baines, cleared to Niasse. Niasse caught by Koscielny, who might go into the book here. It's a yellow card for catching the substitute. Koscielny knew he caught him straight away and offers up apologies. It's a free kick for Everton with 4 minutes remaining here. 1 or 2 Evertonians surround us, just heading towards the exits, looking to beat the traffic and get away from Stanley Park. Take the place in the pub for next on, which is Liverpool's trip to Spurs. Difficult game for Liverpool against Tottenham, but Tottenham have been awful at Wembley, haven't they? North London derby at the Emirates is not so far away. Here is Davis for Everton. Ball breaks out for an Arsenal throw. Kolasinac gets ready to take. The Gunners really wanted to. You get the sense that they would be able to get another one here. It's just whether they want to really kick on. Check to clear. Finds Ramsey. Ramsey can't take it. And it's Everton that have it. And it's Vlasic that will take it down. He's had a neat and tidy game. The Croatian comes to the left-hand side, up against Granit Xhaka. And it's chipped inside the Arsenal penalty area towards Sigurdsson, but Arsenal have got too many players back. And eventually it's played to this near side where Coquelin will turn away from Jagielka. Now it's with Ramsey. Oh, Ramsey caught by Baines. That's a poor challenge. And I'll tell you what, if the Koscielny challenge is a yellow card, that is as well, because he's nowhere near the ball, and it's a frustrated and tired challenge by the fullback on Aaron Ramsey. Ramsey will take the free kick himself. We've got 3 minutes remaining as Xhaka finds Mertesacker. Niasse is chasing everything down. He still believes. 1 or 2 Everton supporters don't. There's a steady stream towards the exits. Eventually it's gone towards Kolasinac over on that far side. Now it's with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka looking for Coquelin. Coquelin plays it to this right-hand side where Hector Bellerin is stationed. Bellerin for Alexis. Alexis turns away from Sigurdsson. This is Jack Wilshere. Wilshere does well against Sigurdsson. Now it's with Xhaka. Wilshere taking over once again. Side foots it towards Monreal. Kolasinac. Wilshere back towards Monreal. Kolasinac takes over, cleared away by Keane, but it's given away. And this is Bellerin inside the area towards Alexis. Still going Alexis, right-hand side. Can he pick the pass? And it comes, and the header from Kolasinac skims off the top of the Bosnian's head. Just a bit too high on that occasion. Well, Arsenal look like going to get back on track here. Looking for what would be a 95th win over Everton, all told. Koscielny. Now it's with Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side, coming forward to the halfway line. Alexis Sanchez has put a shift in, certainly, on the score sheet, but he's been involved, worked hard, created opportunities. This is Xhaka towards Koscielny. This is Bellerin on the halfway line. Koscielny again. Rob Kelly's put the laptop down. Hope there's not another goal for your sake in the match report.
Yeah, if you hear a howl, a cry, an anguished cry,
you know it's a little rewrite.
I'm just desperate to get out of this press box, to be perfectly honest.
Wilshere looking for Ramsey. He can finish it here, and the laptop's going to have to come out again because Arsenal have got a fourth. Aaron Ramsey this time makes no mistake. Similar type of opportunity that he had in the first half. And Pickford this time is beaten It is Everton 1, Arsenal 4, and it was certainly coming, because Arsenal were just creating chances and getting the ball in dangerous areas, and Everton with 10 men are very tired, and they've been a disorganised bunch even since the first minute when they had 11, and Ramsey has got his goal here, and Arsenal have a 4-1 advantage as the clock ticks to 90. Well, pleased for Aaron Ramsey, certainly. 5 minutes of added on time. Obviously we've had a rather large stoppage for the injury to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and we had the sending off as well, plus the fact that we've had 3 goals in this second period, so we've had to restart on a number of occasions, and it all means that it's been a day that's been good for Arsenal, but one that Everton will want to forget. As Niasse goes down, Arsenal win a throw on that far side. This is Keane looking for Niasse, looking to try and turn away from Mertesacker, still going forward, brought down by Coquelin. That's going to be a free kick, dangerous position. Maybe an opportunity to get a second for the Goodison Park club. And it's Sigurdsson that's placed the ball just to the left of the D. If anything,
I'm refusing to close my laptop at this point.
Don't do it. So Baines standing over it. Will be the left boot of Baines or the right of Sigurdsson. You tend to think it'd probably be the right of Sigurdsson. It is Sigurdsson. It's over the crossbar. Hands on hips from Sigurdsson, who's not really been able to affect the game. And the thing is, even though he's playing in a slightly different position to what we used to see him play for Swansea, he's had enough free kicks to try and affect it. The delivery's been poor, the shots haven't been great. His game's just a little bit off. And Everton's all told. There's been one that Ronald Koeman will have to try and address, because as it stands, I hope I've got my maths right, Everton will be in the bottom 3 because of this. On goal difference, admittedly, but only 8 points. Can't believe that Everton are going to go down, but you never know. To get it working at some stage. They've had a fairly tough start to the season in terms of fixtures, but you start losing games, it can get infectious a little bit. Everton have got a free kick, a throw-in rather. And Baines will take the throw. Arsene Wenger, for the first time, just comes to the edge of the technical area, surveys the scene as he watches Everton come forward via Lookman, but he's not going to get to that. In fact, Monreal is there. Sure, you'll be wishing the boss a happy birthday, Rob, when you speak to him after the action here. Oh, and Lookman and rather Niasse has robbed Petr Cech. Oh, that's comical stuff. And Everton have got a second. And Niasse has robbed Petr Cech. How he robbed it, I don't know, because it was behind the post that we can't see in the Arsenal penalty area. Petr Cech is furious with himself. I can't quite see a replay, but Oumar Niasse is on the score sheet. And Petr Cech, was he trying to clear? He was trying to clear it, I think. But Niasse stuck out a boot, and it fell kindly for the play that was completely frozen out by Ronald Koeman last year. And he had an easy task to roll it into an empty net. Rob's had to get the laptop out again. Everton 2, Arsenal 4. Everton have just climbed outside the bottom 3, I think, with that goal. Deep into added on time. Long punt forward, looking to try and get Wilshere in, but that should be easy for Pickford, who lets it run outside of his penalty area before swiping it long. Jack Wilshere with the assist, incidentally, his first Premier League assist for Arsenal since September 2014. In the 3 years, that was against Manchester City. And just 1 or 2 stats as well from our colleagues at Opta. Ozil created 7 chances in the game, joint most in a Premier League game this season. Mesut Ozil coming to the party. Jack Wilshere with that telling contribution for the 4th goal. Here is Wilshere. Now it's with Ramsey. Oh, the flick for Alexis is good and still going, edge of the penalty area. Can he pull the trigger? It's Alexis. Oh, that is sensational. Runs